Welcome to Fort Wayne Komet Hockey on Xfinity, an historic night in the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana, as the Fort Wayne Komets inaugurate their 60th season of professional hockey as they host Central Hockey League rival the Evansville Icemen tonight here at the War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kent Horman. Glad you could join us for this historic broadcast of Fort Wayne Komet Hockey. Again, historic for the Komets, season number 60 in their professional hockey history, and also a historic moment of sorts for Xfinity. This the first of what is hopefully a 5-game package here in Xfinity 81. In addition to tonight's season opener, we'll also bring you the broadcast of Komet Hockey New Year's Eve, February 10th, the regular season finale March 25th, and then hopefully a playoff game in April. I'm pleased to introduce my color commentator for Komet Hockey, Bob Ganow, a longtime junior hockey player and coach. And Bob, we were born and raised here. We have followed the Komets for a long time. This truly is an exciting and a historic night for the Fort Wayne Komets.
Well, yes, it is, Kent. And almost exactly 6 months ago, almost to the day, Rapid City defeated the K's in Rapid City to eliminate us from the playoffs. And I believe the last 6 months the team has really worked hard to improve themselves, because last year was kind of a dismal year in Komet standards. But tonight, it's a new season. We have new players, a mix of good talent that we brought back, and let's see what happens.
Well, and obviously there are new faces from new places for both teams. We do have a couple of key players to take a look at from tonight's hockey game, and these guys are familiar rivals. For the Evansville Icemen, Todd Robinson, who has been around, he is a longtime minor league veteran. He is a centerman, and he is a productive player, usually near the top of the heap as far as points, a prolific goal scorer, works well in the power play, and usually is a great setup man for his line mates. And he will square off with a longtime rival on the Fort Wayne Komets, and that is their centerman and captain, Colin Chalk. They have gone after each other, Bob, in many a league and in many a time, and they'll be lining up against each other right off the hop tonight.
Couldn't ask for anything better. Probably the two best players on their teams, both of them a thorn in the other team's side. Robinson, when he was with Muskegon all those years, with the Fury, of course Chalker here, it's going to be a great matchup.
Well, and again, we will be talking about all sorts of the history of Komet hockey from the 50s through right now. They're going to introduce a lot of Komet legends. It's a pageantary night here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Komet hockey against Evansville. We'll have more coming up next on Xfinity. Welcome back to the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Central Hockey League opener for these state rivals, the Evansville Icemen and the Fort Wayne Komets, celebrating their 60th season of professional hockey. When you talk about 60 years of hockey, well, right now you're seeing the history of Fort Wayne Komet hockey as legends of the Komets are being introduced right now as they are gathering at center ice. Bob, we are talking about guys from the 50s all the way through our present decade, and these are still many familiar names because there's a long-time core of Komet fans here in Fort Wayne. They have a season ticket base of some 3,800. The Komets are the third oldest operating minor hockey league franchise, and boy, there are a lot of legends out there now gathering at center ice.
That's right, Kent, and a lot of these players still live in the Fort Wayne area. They're still giving back to the team, helping out. There's a lot of coaches from the ex-Comet teams. As a matter of fact, 2 of them are not here tonight because they are coaching, Doug Rigler and Ian Boyce. But there's been a lot of ex-Comets that have been coaches.
Well, and again, you see the parade of former Komets being introduced. That big roar you heard was for Steve Fletcher, one of the more popular Komets in team history. He was one of the big enforcers back in the 80s and the 90s, and Fletcher is one of the Komet players whose number is retired, hanging in the rafters here at Memorial Coliseum. And when Bob talks about the great history of these Komets, there are 47 former Fort Wayne Komets who are still living here in Fort Wayne. And believe it or not, over 60 years, over 1,202 to be exact, different players have worn Fort Wayne Komet uniforms. And there will even be, after all of these former Komets are introduced, there will be an all 60th anniversary team that will come out onto the ice. And I believe they're about to do that right now. And one of the real treasures of Fort Wayne, and one of the guys who really got things started for the Fort Wayne Komets from the 50s, George Drysdale. He was on the very first Fort Wayne Komet team. He was the first captain, and he scored the very first goal in Fort Wayne Komet history. And there is George, and he's still on skates, and he's coming out on the ice. And then here's a guy, Bob, you and I are both familiar with from the 60s, Steady Eddie Long. He is known as Mr. Komet, and he was our coach in junior hockey.
Yes, Kent, Eddie taught me an awful lot the 3 years I played for him. He's quite a character. He has some interesting phrases, but he's a good guy. He's been here from the start, and he's made his Fort Wayne his home.
From the 70s, there's goaltender Robbie Irons, the only goaltender in Komet history to have his number retired. From the 80s, pound for pound, one of the toughest guys ever to wear a Fort Wayne Komet uniform. That would be Dale Baldwin, and Dale Baldwin looks like he is still in skating shape and could play. From the 90s, a member of a Turner Cup championship with the Komets, and a local kid, born and bred here in Fort Wayne, Colin Chin, a former captain. So he represents the 90s, and then from the 2000s, a prolific career, skated more games than anybody ever to put on a Komet uniform, and he retired just after last season, and the crowd is letting him hear it, Guy Dupuis.
And I believe next Saturday they're going to retire his number, so he gets applause 2 weeks in a row.
Exactly correct, and right there, folks, you see it all of the Komet history from the 50s to present day. George Drysdale, Eddie Long, Robbie Irons, Dale Baldwin, Colin Chalk. And there he is, last year's captain, Guy Dupuis. Now, if anybody throughout our great state of Indiana might be kind of unfamiliar, first of all, with Central League hockey and then Komet hockey, and you see on Guy Dupuis' jersey right across the crest of the chest, wait a second, what's this Komets with a K? That goes back, Bob, to the original ownership when they created the Fort Wayne Komets, and one of the original owners had a wife, Kay. Actually, it was Catherine, but they called her Kay, and that's how they put Komets with a K, just that little unique trait.
That's right. It's very simple that the owners did not want Komets with a C because that was a common spelling. So he named the team basically after his wife.
And right now, the 2011 Fort Wayne Komets are being introduced. Dustin Molly, Tom Maley, Frankie DeAngelis, Bobby Chaumont, who will be one of the newcomers. There's Bobby Chaumont. One of the newcomers, and the Komets made a trade to get this guy, Jesse Benefield. In fact, they traded a popular defenseman from last season, Craig Sescon, to get Benefield, hoping to increase their goal scoring. Centerman Danny Lapointe, who was a member of last year's team. The Komets have 10 players back from last year's hockey club. One of the newcomers on defense, Tristan Llewellyn. The Komets also acquired a couple of players from one of the teams in the Central Hockey League that folded. Boucher Shreveport actually won the Central Hockey League championship and then folded. Well, their loss, the Komets gained Brett Smith. And here's a popular Komet, Leo Thomas, back for another season, hoping to have a healthy season and a much more productive season. Little spark plug from Russia, Artem Podchenyelov. And another newcomer from the Central Hockey League champion Boucher Shreveport Mudbugs, the big defenseman Jamie Milam. Chris Auger is another newcomer to the Komets. Jean-Michael Risk, a big centerman. You're going to hear a big roar of applause for this next Komet. Very popular and a local kid, Kaylee Schrock. And then another big roar coming up for the captain of the Komets and really the heart and soul of this hockey club, Colin Chalk. Tyler Sims will be serving as a backup goaltender. And then, of course, the head coach of the Fort Wayne Komets in his 9th season is Al Sims. His assistant is Gary Graham. The athletic trainer is Sean Dundon. And the equipment manager is Joe Franke. So an electric atmosphere at Memorial Coliseum as we prepare for the 60th season of Fort Wayne Komet hockey. Starting lineups and hockey coming up next here on Xfinity.
It's fun to catch up on the twists they're talking about. It's fun to watch new movies right away. They're on demand, not on delay. If you're through with satellite, come on and shout. It's fun for you. It's fun for me. Come on, everybody, to Xfinity. Come on, everybody, to Xfinity.
Every week, the nation's best lay their season on the line.
End zone ahead.
Experience the pageantry, the intensity, and every defining moment.
The fans have stormed the field.
When the game's historic rivals and biggest contenders battle in the drive to the national championship. All season long on ESPN and ESPN2. College football lives here.
The 9/11 memorial is for my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
And for my brother.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
And that we are strong.
It's for the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. To learn more or to reserve your visit, go to 911memorial.org.
In case you've been wondering where we've been all this time, well, now you know. Meet Bill Jr.
Well, we emailed out pictures a while back, but you know DSL. Good things come to those who wait, which is why we feel Xfinity is too fast for us.
You can say that again.
Which is why we feel Xfinity is too fast for us.
I didn't mean literally say it again.
Go way faster than DSL with Xfinity Internet, only from Comcast.
Tom Didier performing our national anthem of Canada, and now coming up, the national anthem of the United States of America.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so
Bob Ganow and Kent Horman here on Xfinity 81. It is an absolutely electrifying atmosphere here in Fort Wayne as the Komets celebrate their 60th anniversary of professional hockey. And there are only a handful of teams that have been in business longer than the Fort Wayne Komets. Hershey, Pennsylvania, they started back in 1938. Springfield, Massachusetts in 1940. And then the Komets back in 1952. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup tonight for the visiting Evansville Icemen. Their center will be Todd Robinson. On right wing, and this will be a bit of a backstory, Bob, Sean O'Connor, who played 3 seasons for the Komets and was part of some championship teams.
Yes, he was, and he opted to try new waters and go to Evansville this year. For 3 years, he was a key player here, and hopefully he can do good for them.
The left wing is Josh Beaulieu. And on defense, Matt Jens and Philippe Plant, and the goaltender, Pierre-Olivier Pelletier. Now we take a look at the starting lineup for the Fort Wayne Komets, and that'll set up like this. The center is Colin Chalk. Right wing, Leo Thomas, and the left wing, this could be an exciting player in the K's lineup this year, Jesse Benefield. On defense is Dustin Molly and Jamie Milam. And in goal is Nick Boucher, who has backstopped the Komets to 3 championships in the former International Hockey League. The head coach of the Komets, of course, is Al Sims in his 9th season. The head coach of Evansville is another veteran coach, Rich Crom. And we are just about set for hockey as the officials gather at center ice. The referee will be Kevin Curtis, and the linesmen working tonight's game will be Daniel Cohen and Zach Thornton. There's a look at the beautiful Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. It itself built in 1952, renovated in the year 2002. And there's a look, Bob, at the Komets' spiffy new uniforms they're rolling out tonight.
Well, it's definitely a throwback to the early 60s when they wore the Spaceman. It's a little bigger this time, but still the Spaceman.
Teams gather at center ice. Colin Chalk and Todd Robinson, they have swapped many a face-off. We are underway. It's hockey night in Fort Wayne. Glad you could join us on Xfinity. Puck caroms in off an Evansville player into the Komets zone. Molly has the puck taken away from him. Scrumming for it briefly in the corner was O'Connor. Now the Komets try to clear, but intercepted by Evansville, and they dump it back in deep. Colin Chalk now will be rubbed along the boards as already the Icemen are exerting some solid pressure in the Komets zone. It's one of the keys the Komets were looking for this year, to be more proficient at getting the puck out of their end. Now Chalk mucking around the corner. It comes off the near boards. Leo Thomas has his pass carom off Sean O'Connor. Now Chalk, as he's pinned along the boards, but the K's do get into Evansville territory. A centering pass is tipped away, and now here come the Icemen back the other way. Beaulieu ahead. A little snapshot is blocked by Boucher as Todd Robinson fired the quick shot low. Boucher up to the task, and we are 54 seconds into the game.
That was a good start for Boucher. Last year, played in Australia, came back right before the season started, and personally I think he was tired. This year he stayed in town, worked hard, and good start for him.
Now Brett Smith wins the draw from Brian Bisick. Again, the Komets try to clear the zone, but Evansville doing a pretty good job of hitting the Komets early on in the game. There's a heavy hit by the K's. Now moving up and taking the cross-ice pass, but a little too strongly as it gets past Chaumont, and that'll be icing. Well, these two teams know each other very, very well, again, through the long history of minor league hockey. When Muskegon folded from the former International Hockey League, a lot of the former Muskegon players, including their coach, Rich Crom, relocated when a Central Hockey League franchise was awarded to Evansville. Now again, it's Bisick and Smith on the draw, controlled by the Komets. Here comes Chaumont. Looks to feed a little pass off the boards. Tipped away from Schrock, and now here come the Icemen again as Bisick spins, dumps the puck deep. Hustling in to make the play is John Ronan. And now coming out with the Icemen, there's a centering pass to the point, but it's just tipped wide. Again, they try to whirl in front. Spinning with the shot is Ronan, but making the save is Boucher. And the Komets still can't clear the zone. A shot from the point is a little bit wide. That came off the stick of Mockway. And now the Komets have a little space. A little backhand pass is fed ahead, but the Komets in a line change. So here come the Icemen regrouping in their own end. They flip the puck deep, and that'll be an icing. So Evansville looking for a line change. They'll take the icing, and we have played 2 minutes even, scoreless. Opening night here in Fort Wayne, the Fort Wayne Komets against the Evansville Icemen. Face off in the Evansville zone. John Michael Risk gets the draw back to the point, but again, the shot is blocked by Evansville, and hustling up is Bisick. Bisick slices through, poked away off the stick of Boucher, but Bisick turns along the boards. A puck is tipped. That almost wound up in the Komet net. Trying to clear the puck away was Tristan Llewellyn, and he almost put it past his own goaltender, Bob.
Well, he was in front doing what he's supposed to do, and it just ricocheted off of him. Luckily, Boucher was paying attention. Did a good save.
And again, the faceoff is won by Evansville. Back in the corner, they try to center. Rubbed off the play is Dustin Johnson. Now the Komets control behind their own goal, and starting the pass out, Pachenyalov, but that's knocked down by Adam Knopp. And here come the Icemen, firing it over center ice. That's deep in the corner. And hustling to make the play that time is Dustin Johnson. Here come the Icemen, digging it around the corner. They funnel around behind the boards. There's a big check delivered by the Komets. But again, Evansville dominating the early play. Here's the pass to the point. Dumping it back deep into the corner. And now a pass goes whistling through the crease, but dumping it deep again is Nick Schneider. Evansville getting the better of the play so far. That centering pass again caroms off Boucher, and the Komets able to clear to center ice. Now Adam Knopp whirls. Has the pass ahead. It was tipped in by Dustin Johnson as Evansville goes for a line change. Now here come the Komets wheeling around and coming with the cross-ice pass. It's ahead to Jamie Milam. Milam tries to feed it in, and just dumping ahead is Jesse Benefield. The goaltender Peltier stops it behind his net, and here come the Icemen. Dumped ahead, the pass goes to Bolio. Bolio is blocked by Milam. Now dishing out a check is Dustin Molly, but back behind the net and centering with the shot and the great save. A great centering pass by O'Connor, but Boucher again up to the task to make the save. Now the pass goes ahead. It was tipped into the zone. There will be no icing, so the goaltender Peltier will play ahead off the boards. And now spinning around is the veteran Todd Robinson. He works ahead to O'Connor. The former Komet tries for a shot, blocked. That time Chaumont tried to possess, but couldn't get it done, as that time O'Connor has to absorb a check from Kaylee Schrock. Puck is flipped into the Komet bench, and we have a stoppage. 15:56 to go in a scoreless first period. Take a look at the replay, Bob. You see a crafty pass by O'Connor and a quick shot by Robinson.
There's Robinson again, right place, right time. Puck's on his stick, quick shot. It's hard to defend. Luckily, Nick was ready for it.
Well, as the team changed lines, and again, if you're just kind of picking up the game of hockey, they try to match these lines up. The home team gets the last change, and they decide to drop the puck at center ice after it fell into the Komet bench. So the puck goes back, and again, here come the Evansville Icemen. Steve Macway throws it across, and a pass intended that time for Matt Pierce is intercepted by Schrock. Now here come the Komets with their first big rush, and it's gloved that time by Peltier, and a little extracurriculars after the whistle. But right now, Kaylee Schrock, who will drop the gloves from time to time for the Komets. He's more interested in playing hockey. And there you see that time, Brett Smith is flipping it ahead, and they finished the check and then some on Kaylee Schrock. That time John Roden with a little bit after the fact, along with Jake Obermeyer. Now the puck comes out to neutral ice, and the Komets will start it again. Pass goes into the skates of Schrock, but he kicks it ahead. Now it's dumped deep into the corner that time by Brett Smith. But Evansville clears, and it's knocked down at center ice by Chris Auger. Auger is a forward by trade. He has played some defense. And the Komets, actually, due to some injuries, were short on defense tonight. So Auger said, I'll drop back and play the blue line. Now here come Evansville on an odd man rush. Bicek comes down center ice lane. He just skates right in, a little backhand attempt, and it looks like it's in. No, it's not. Well, you had the Evansville Icemen raising their sticks, claiming that puck was in. Well, let's see what the referee, Kevin Curtis, has to say. He's going to have a conversation with his linesman. Well, let's take a look at our replay. A little tough to tell, really, if the puck actually crossed the goal line into the net. It did not. It doesn't appear as if it did.
Well, the referee was right on the side of the net. He made no signal.
Well, you have to give Bicek credit for trying to sell it. And one thing, too, we have the luxury of instant replay. There is a video board here at the Coliseum where the fans can see it. They do not use instant replay here at the minor league level in the Central Hockey League. But credit to the officials, they got it right. They had no opportunity to review it replay-wise. And there again, on the big video board, they are playing the replay, and it showed the puck clearly did not get in. But, hey, give Brian Bicek credit for trying to sell it to the officials. They just weren't buying. Now the Komets trying to clear their end, but again having a lot of difficulty. Little pinball in the zone. And now here come the Komets melee with speed. Leaves it down the slot. Pachenyalov with a shot, and it's steered aside by Peltier. Komets keep it in along the boards, dropped back. Now it's to the point. Oh, another shot. Rejected by Peltier. The Komets were looking for the tip. Back to the point it goes once again. Trying to find some space is Bryant Molly. Now along the boards, rubbed off, and here come the Icemen. Busting out is Adam Knopp, and the puck winds up over the glass. 14:21 remains in period one. It's a scoreless hockey game, and there's a look at the veteran netminder Nick Boucher. So far, the shots favor Evansville 5-3, and so far, Bob, Nick's had some close calls.
He's had some really tough saves to start the game. Usually that's good for a goaltender. You get into the flow early.
Now off the face-off, here come the Icemen as they cycle the puck back into their own end. Little cross-ice pass over center ice. Quickly batted down by Chalk with the feet. Now here come the Komets as Milam leaves it back. Big pass up ahead goes to Leo Thomas, who just tips it in. Benefield to Chalk, and Chalk fans on the shot coming across. He centers to Leo Thomas, and his shot sails a little bit wide. Now along the boards, Philippe Plante tries to steer it out. He does. One man back for the Komets. That's Milam. The K's will recycle. Ahead it's dumped in by Chalk, intended for Thomas, and a little too strong. That'll be an icing against the K's. Probably the best opportunity so far of the game for the Komets. So the face-off will be in the Fort Wayne zone. It'll be Todd Robinson against Colin Chalk, the two wily veterans, and Robinson wins that draw. Puck is drawn back to the point, but the shot's just a little bit wide. Now Leo Thomas tries to feed ahead. He has Chalk. Chalk in traffic, continues to weave into the zone, leaves it back. Benefield dumps it deep and takes the check. Now it's Milam keeping it in for Chalk. Chalk battling a couple of Icemen. And Leo Thomas now tries to push Plant off the puck. Evansville with a little space, and here comes Plant. Big drive, and that's steered aside with the stick by Boucher. They hustle for it in the corner, and it's Evansville coming up with the puck. Robinson centers and score! A beautiful pass that time from Robinson to John Ronan. He goes upstairs, and he puts Evansville on the board 1-0 in favor of the Icemen. Well, you'll see in the replay, Bob, again, just a brilliant assist by Todd Robinson, as he first takes the pass from Bolio, comes right down the slot and goes right up and over the shoulder of Nick Boucher.
Just a great play. Once again, a veteran. Robinson put it right on his stick. All they do is snap it home.
Now Evansville on the board. Their pressure has now paid off, and again they've got the puck deep in the Komets zone. Well, a great forecheck being applied right now by the Icemen, as that time Pierce is wrapping up the Komet defense. They scrum along the boards. They'll try to dig it out. And again, the official, Kevin Curtis, says play. So now the Komets come out. Here comes Kaylee Schrock. Oh, he's bumped off the play hard by McWay, but Schrock just bulls his way through. Now it's Schoman trying to put pressure on his defender back in the corner. Schrock gets it deep. Schoman cycles around, but now it's intercepted that time by Jake Obermeyer. And Evansville takes control as Steve McWay stands behind his own net, surveying the situation, cruising through and picking up the puck is Bicek, but he leaves it back. And now starting out is McWay as he comes up. Bicek through traffic. Two Icemen collide to see if the Komets can capitalize on that. Now cruising through the zone, a great move, the shot, oh, big save that time by Peltier as Mealy was denied on a great move and a hard shot. Dumped in now by the Icemen as they'll look for a change. Boucher leaves it behind his net, and now the Komets will look for a breakout. 11:30 to go in the opening period, 1-0 Evansville. Komets look just a wee bit out of sync here to start, as now Bryant Molly ahead, but it rubbed off the boards is Mealy. Intercepting the play is Risk. Got a little too strong off his stick, and again, here comes an odd man rush by Evansville. A quick snapshot is just a little bit wide. Shots favor the Icemen, now 7-4. A loose puck just comes right through the slot. Hustling in, though, is Dustin Johnson. He couldn't get it. Still kept deep by Evansville. Now along the boards, let's see if the Komets can get it out of there, but a big hit that time by Segroy is applied to Tristan Llewellyn. Komets looking to break out, but they're having all sorts of problems with this Evansville pressure. Now Bryant Molly. Komets feed it ahead. It's just chipped into the zone. Peltier will feed it ahead to one of his teammates as O'Connor takes charge. Wheeled around the boards. Now here comes Evansville. Breaking out is Josh Bolio. Ahead and busting in with speed is the former Komet O'Connor. Centers with the backhander. Steered away by Boucher. And now the Komets looking for their own breakout. Chalk along the boards. Tries to feather past his defender, Jens, but can't get it done. Now it comes down the slot. The quick shot that time, but it was blocked as Milam was cruising in from his defensive point. But clogged up in front, so they couldn't get it to the net. Now Chalk looks for a mate, Colin Chalk. Great job of handling the puck. Goes deep in the zone as Benefield in front. Thomas hits the outside of the post. Great play by Benefield, but Thomas just couldn't quite finish. Had a bit of a tough angle. And the puck is shot the rink to the link. And there is icing. A close call again. 9:46 to go in period one. And it's 1-0 in favor of Evansville. And Bob, again, just another close play. The Komets just couldn't quite finish it off.
Well, Leo hit the post. I mean, that's only 3-inch post, so it's the width of the puck he missed it by. It's early in the year.
There's a look at the captain last year, Boucher Shreveport, who won a championship, Brett Smith, as he is centering the second Komet line. And again, the Komets can't clear. It's Evansville cruising in, keeping the puck in. A centering pass tipped by Boucher and just steered aside again by Boucher. Now Boucher controls behind the net. Looks to center, but has nowhere to go. Still controls the puck. Turned along the boards by Ronan. So right now Evansville doing some cycling, and the Komets just can't take the Icemen off the puck. A shot to save. Boucher again dodging another bullet. Now let's see if the Komets can clear it out. Here comes Kaylee Schrock with a mate down the wing. Chaumont spins along the boards, looks for somebody to pass, comes back the other way, leaves for Schrock in the corner. Schrock to Beaumont. Now they come back and they look for the point, and it clears the zone. Komets dump it deep. They look for a line change. Peltier will stop it behind the goal. 8:45 to go, period one. Opening night here in Fort Wayne, the Komets' 60th anniversary season, but right now Evansville has carried the play. The K's trail 1-0. And again, here comes a bit of an odd man rush. The centering pass that time is blocked as Dustin Johnson came in. He was dealt a heavy blow by Bryant Molly. It looks like there'll be a penalty coming up as a tripping penalty here at the 11:33 mark of the first period. And that'll be a tripping penalty assessed to Bryant Molly. So the first penalty of the game and the first of the season goes to Fort Wayne's Bryant Molly. 2 minutes for tripping. With the 1-0 lead, Evansville goes on the power play. And again, Bob, we know Todd Robinson has been one of those guys who works the power play like a quarterback.
Yes, he'll be setting up in the corner behind the net. He's always open. I don't know how he does it, but he just works hard, gets open. Those touch passes, you can't cover him.
There in our Xfinity replay, you saw Molly with the trip. And right now the Komets are doing a good job of jamming up Evansville on the power play in the neutral zone. That's chewing some time off the clock. Now the Icemen try to dump it deep as it goes to O'Connor. O'Connor leaves for Robinson. Robinson trying to charge the net a little bit, spins around. He's bumped off the play by Dustin Molly. There are two Mollies on the Komets, Dustin and Bryant. Now the puck goes back to the point. Time it's fed deep by Jens. Now they cycle around to Robinson. Robinson again is quarterbacking this power play. Komets playing the box defense. And there's a shot from in close. Great save off of Bolio. Boy, Boucher is just being knocked around like a pinball, and the Komets can't clear the zone, so here comes more Evansville pressure on the power play. Still a minute left in the man advantage for the Evansville Icemen. And now just taking it right to the net is O'Connor. His shot whistles wide, but right along the boards it's kept in and dumped back in by Jens. The Komets, though, finally get it cleared by Jean-Michael Risk. Now 45 seconds left in the Evansville man advantage, just over 7 minutes left in period number one, and it's a 1-0 Evansville lead. Now the Icemen come again, snapping it into the Fort Wayne zone is Steve Macway. Komets try to cycle along the boards, but they can't get it done, and now it's Evansville taking control as Matt Pierce to Ronan. Ronan, who has the goal of the game so far. They work it back to the point. Steve Macway now to the far boards. Robinson centers it beautifully, but the shot is fanned on. Now they go back to Macway at the point to Robinson. Robinson takes a look, see if he can set up Ronan again. And Ronan again fans on the shot, goes back to Macway. Now Macway, as he tries to dump it in, it's intercepted by the Komets. They have a chance for a breakout, but no, it just didn't quite happen for the Komets. And now they're all even, and the puck is shot along the boards, and it is now again intercepted by Evansville. Adam Knopp circles around. He's pinned along the boards in front of his own bench. Komets controlling their own end. Danny Lapointe feeds the pass over, but the shot is just deflected. Now here's Lapointe trying to spin in front of the net. Leaves it for Milam. Milam with the big shot from the point. Goes off the skate that time. Off of Lapointe. And here comes a 2-on-1 for Evansville. Great play, though, as a sliding stop that time by Dustin Molly to thwart the play that time, as Segroy was trying to make something happen for Evansville. Now caught in a change. The puck goes deep into the Evansville zone. 5.5 minutes to go in period one. Spinning around is Nick Schneider as he comes across to Knop. Now chasing it along the boards and hustling in to dump it back was Auger. Pins his man along the boards as Dustin Johnson tries to dig it free. Getting a little help from Chalk. Chalk, one of the better defensive forwards in all of minor league hockey. And again, they cycle it back and forth. Here comes the big drive from the point. That time the shot by Jens was blocked by the Komets, and here come the Komets with speed and numbers. Tried to center it, but it's knocked down by Philippe Plante. And controlling at center ice is Chalk. Chalk spins, leaves the puck back. Now it comes across on the wing. Big shot to dump it into the corner by Mealy as he goes for a change. 4:44 to go in period one. Artem Podchenyulov slips the check. Takes a look, dumps it back behind the net. That's where Bobby Schoman is. He comes back to the point. Fanning on a shot that time was Tristan Llewellyn, and it'll be Evansville controlling the puck as Sean O'Connor passes across to Plante. He takes the return pass. O'Connor, who has some speed, comes up to the wing, and he feeds it over to Josh Bolio. Has it poked off his stick by Frankie DeAngelis. Now Bisick tries to center, intercepted by Brett Smith, and watch him wheel. Here comes Smith, busting in off the wing. Tries to center, tipped away, and Evansville will start the rush back the other way. O'Connor takes a heavy hit from Schrock, busting into Schoman. Little low shot. Oh, he gets the rebound and just punches it past the goaltender Peltier, and he pins it along the net. Komets again with another chance, but they just can't quite get it in. 3:54 to go in period one. It's 1-0 in favor of Evansville, and you are watching Fort Wayne Komet Hockey on Xfinity.
It's time for another marquee moment for Peter Franklin Jewelers. We got a birthday up here in the crowd. Neely Kimmel, where are you, Neely? Stand up. Stand up. There you go. How old are you, sir? 9. When's your birthday?
The NFL on Fox is counting down to liftoff. It all starts with America's #1 pregame show. Then, every week, catch the best players and the biggest games. Fox NFL Sunday, all season long.
What happened that night? What happened?
Hubert!
Oh, my God, you could give a guy a heart attack.
What are you doing?
I'm doing jumping jacks. What do you think I'm doing? I'm sleeping in your laundry.
Wait, it's taking this long to download my movie because you're napping?
No, it's taking that long because I'm Uverse. Get Xfinity from Comcast. It's twice as fast as I am. We're done here, right? I'm pretty sure we're done here.
Uverse's old phone wires can't handle what Xfinity can. Visit Xfinity Can to learn more.
Back at the Coliseum, Bob Ganau, Kent Horman here on Xfinity. Glad you could join us for opening night of Fort Wayne Komet Hockey, Central Hockey League, as they take on their state rival, the Evansville Icemen. Here's a look at the replay of the last Komet scoring opportunity, Bob. And again, boy, there could have been a trip or an interference called there in front of the net. And now off the face-off, here come the Icemen breaking out again with speed. It's Matt Pierce leveling a heavy hit that time on Auger, but the Komets try to control and center it. Leo Thomas spins around. He's knocked down by McWay. And that attempted pass across ice was tipped back in by the Komets, so it'll be Evansville to reset. 3:20 to go in this opening period here in Fort Wayne. 1-0 in favor of visiting Evansville. Puck is up deep into the Komet zone. That is not icing. DeAngelis just rings it around the boards, and busting out is Jesse Benefield. Benefield goes into the corner, tries to put the heavy hit on Knop, but outbreak the Icemen once more. Coming in off the wing and just dumping the puck in is Segroy. Now it's Podchenyulov trying to finish off his man. He drops his stick, and that gives a brief advantage to Evansville. And just charging the net and hustling in for the shot is Malcolm Gwilliam. And as Gwilliam is stopped by Boucher, it looks like there'll be another Fort Wayne penalty. And that will be assessed to Artem Podchenyulov, and it'll come at the 17-14 mark. Take a look at our replay. Now they're going to call a hooking penalty on Podchenyelov as he was trying to reel in Malcolm William as he was charging the net.
Well, he dropped his stick, and as he picked it up, he lost a half a step and just gave him a little tug. It was marginal, but by the rules it was.
So here comes the Evansville power play going to work again, and Haley Schrock backhands the puck to neutral ice. Icemen try to stay onside, barely do, but no, they don't. That will be offside. Well, right now, the shots favor Evansville 12-4. They lead 1-0, and they still have 1 minute and 38 seconds left of power play time. And there is a look at Josh Beaulieu. Beaulieu played last year with Rapid City. Moving over to Evansville for this season. So now the Icemen will regroup on their power play as Philippe Plante goes cross ice. And O'Connor tries to penetrate but can't. That was a good defensive play that time by the Komets as they'll try to clog up the blue line. And now controlling is Milam, and he just dumps it deep into the Evansville end of the rink with under 2 minutes to go here in period one. Now knifing through that time is Jens. That comes along the near boards and gloved and controlled by Chalk, who finds some open ice and just caroms it off the boards where it'll be controlled by Pierre-Olivier Pelletier. And here come the Icemen with another rush. Now Bicek pressured along the boards. And again, the Komets find some more room and clear at the length of the rink. Just 35 seconds left to go here in the Evansville power play. 1:15 to go in period one. McWay goes across to Obermeyer, who funnels it in, and then he pursues Boucher, having a little trouble handling the puck. And that time Brett Smith, he can't clear it, but it is just chopped out by the Komets. 10 seconds to go in the power play. Under a minute to go here in the first period from the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. Puck is caromed off the boards. Boucher handles and gloves, leaves for Dustin Molly. He's pressured off the puck. The Komets return to full strength, but here comes Evansville, and they had a man advantage, but as they cycle the puck around, the Komets get fresh troops on the ice. Again, a centering pass goes just wide past a rushing John Ronan, and now Smith goes across. Shot is snapped that time by Mealy, but it goes wide, rings all the way around the boards, and here comes Bicek. Bicek one man to beat. His shot just barely glances off Boucher and goes high in the air. Now at neutral ice, one more rush for Evansville possibly. Slicing down, looking for the shot. Robinson will take it. Puck caroms around in front with 5 seconds to go. Another centering pass. And it's just poked deep that time by Matt Jens as time runs out in the first period. A period, Bob, quite frankly, pretty well dominated by the Evansville Icemen.
Oh, I believe so. 12-4 on shots, and they had at least 4 or 5 that were wide. But there again, they're on the road. I believe playing on the road is easier opening night because we got a sellout here. We're close to it. Komets are pressing. Evansville, they come in. They're just playing their game, and of course you have Robinson, Jens, who are just dominant in our zone.
Well, one goal in the first period. That came at the 6:54 mark. It was a goal scored by John Ronan. There were just 2 penalties in the period. Both the penalties were awarded to the Komets. Bryant Molly for tripping, Artem Podchenyelov for hooking. Evansville outshoots the Komets in period 1, 12-4. Intermission time, 1-0 Evansville. This is Komet Hockey on Xfinity.
Uvers, what are you doing?
Getting you guys a better TV.
We have a great TV. You're the problem.
Me? You're the one that should have gotten Xfinity from Comcast.
I know.
They have better HD picture quality and way more HD choices.
Wait a second. Is that Grandpa's TV?
If your grandpa's mustache party 54, then yes, it is. You owe him $200.
Uvers' old phone wires can't handle what Xfinity can. Visit Xfinity Can to learn more.
The NFL on Fox is counting down to liftoff. It all starts with America's #1 pregame show. Then, every week, catch the best players and the biggest games. Fox NFL Sunday, all season long.
Taking the Komets' historic 60th anniversary to a whole new level.
This is the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the home of the Fort Wayne Komets.
Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. It's your chance to sound off with the Komets. Each week, Indiana's news centers, Tommy Sheckler and a guest Komet take you inside the program, answer your calls, and talk to fans in the audience live from Wrigley Field Bar and Grill. Sound off with the Komets all season long. Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. Presented by PHP, the insurance your health deserves.
It's fun to watch a funny show when you're at home or on the go. It's fun to catch up on the twists they're talking about. It's fun to watch new movies right away. They're on demand, not on delay. If you're through with satellite, come on and shout. It's fun for you. It's fun for me. Come on, everybody, to Xfinity. Come on, everybody, to Xfinity.
Now back at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. Bob Ganow, Kent Horman here on Xfinity. After one period, the visiting Evansville Icemen lead the Fort Wayne Komets 1-0, and all sorts of things go on here during intermission here during a Komet hockey game. So there you see some of the fun on the ice. Right now, we're going to step aside for a while and take a look at what has become a very popular feature involving the Komets on Xfinity. Let's revisit Outside the Jungle.
Long shot through the crowd. Score! Komets score, win. It's a big one for the Komets.
Welcome to Komet Hockey Outside the Jungle here on Xfinity. In this episode, we'll take a look at Komet Hockey both on and off the ice, special features about the K's inside and outside the jungle right here on Xfinity. Fans know what it's like to go to a home game at Memorial Coliseum. Have you ever thought, though, what life on the road is like as a Fort Wayne Komet? Recently, defenseman turned photographer Bobby Phillips took a camera with him when the K's hit the road for Arizona. Here is life on the road as a Fort Wayne Komet.
I'm Komets defenseman number 20, Bobby Phillips, and you're watching On the Road with the Komets. Just got picked up by number 9, Brandon Warner. We're heading to the rink to pack our bags and head to the Fort Wayne airport. It's 5 o'clock on the dot. We're supposed to be here right at 5. There's guys rolling in late.
Aaron, tape this.
Toronto West End.
Spent it all on dinner in Chicago. Hi, Mom.
Now we're to Arizona. See how much of a disaster this is with 25 guys checking into the same flight.
What's up, Bubby?
Just landed in Chicago. Next stop's Phoenix. Some of the boys are going to go get some food, and Danko's going to eat all the leftovers.
Can't wait.
Number 14, Frankie D'Angelo. Is that Gary? Oh, no, that's that guy. Is that Bobby? Who's holding the camera? We're in the Chicago airport. Next flight board's about an hour, and the boys are hungry. It's going to be a feeding frenzy.
Roast chicken?
How about you, sir?
Same thing.
Is there room? Good times here?
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, I got it with a pen.
What I thought.
Pretty much he asked me if I was going to stand, and I said no, and he's like, all right, I'll stand. Even though he's before me.
We.
That's what's up.
Remember what you said in the airport? Feel bad for the person who's sitting next to me.
We just got into Phoenix. It's about 1:15. It's about 1:15 Fort Wayne time. All the boys are a little cranky, and we still got a 2-hour bus trip to Prescott, Arizona. Hey, speak for yourself.
Next step, buddy. You'll never find.
You'll never find a hairline like mine.
Travel with about 40 bags. 3:30 Fort Wayne time. Just getting to the hotel in Prescott. 4 a.m. Fort Wayne time. The boys are hungry.
Fish crackers?
Two.
Real good.
Two.
Give me power tomorrow.
Ritz $1.
$1, huh?
$1, yeah.
I don't see the ravioli.
Chef Boyardee, $2, Maddie.
What are the chips though?
Chips, which one?
Guacamole ones.
It says big bag of chips. It says $2. Is that what it is?
What about the power bar?
That must be right.
Power bar? The same. No, 4 bar.
Power bar at $1.50, I think.
What? Guacamole chips, G.
Really? Never had that. Good?
Don't get it. I don't want to smell.
Probably, how much did you record? How many hours?
Open for like
An hour and a half so far.
We were on the.
Which is the chips?
We've been like 12 hours here, and I seen you like 9 hours with that camera.
I hope it's one king size bed. Which bed do you want? It's 11 a.m. Fort Wayne time, 8 a.m. Arizona time. We had our alarm set for 9:15 to get up and eat, but I can't sleep, and I had to sneak out of the room because OC's still sleeping. But we're pretty much on our own for breakfast. They usually have a catered pregame meal, but some of the guys should be down there for breakfast right now.
Meal for the heavyweights of the league. Morning with some Fruit Loops.
The Western? Is that egg product? I don't know. It's got a little pepper in there, some onions. Tastes like a shoe. We're within walking distance to the rink, so a bunch of the guys are heading over now. We're on the ice at 11 for our pregame skate. And pretty much on your own. Guys will just trickle until about 10:15. Not sure how far this is, but they said it was walking distance.
love the mountains.
We're a mile up.
Rocky Mountain High.
5,500 feet up right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Staying here?
Toyota Center. One of the Arizona Sun Dogs.
Just got done with the pregame skate. Gonna get something to eat and take a nap.
Just got done with pregame skate. I'm not gonna take a nap.
No? You don't nap?
I'm not gonna take a nap. I'm gonna do a little bit of work.
What kind of work?
Push-ups. Do some push-ups. No, edit that. No push-ups. I'm gonna just do a little bit of work.
What are you doing today, Sesk? What's your game day like?
Snuggle with Narzy.
I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be honest, but I'm snuggling.
Small spoon, bud.
What are we eating?
B-dubs. Brought a shuttle to Olive Garden for a pregame meal. There's about 10 of us here. We were gonna walk, but it's cloudy and raining, as opposed to popular beliefs that it was gonna be 95 and sunny.
Hey, Keith. It's snowing here in the winter. We're a mile up though.
It's 2:30 Arizona time. We just got back from pregame meal. Gonna take a nap for a couple hours. Got a 7 o'clock game, so we'd be at the rink by about 5 o'clock. Most guys like to sleep for 2 or 3 hours, but me and OC are only gonna sleep for about a half hour, 45 minutes. We just lost 2-1 in overtime. Trying to lay low tonight. No one's real happy. We're 0-2 now. Only have 1 point. So just gonna go grab some food now with some of the guys and get back to the hotel, make it an early night.
Morning, Bob.
Morning, Boucher. What plate are you on, Danko? The German 3? The German 3? 17 penalties last night.
17 minors.
No, 17 penalties.
Minors, I think 12.
15 minors.
15.
15? No, I thought it was 12.
They gave me 7 minutes.
No, they went.
We had 11 after 2. Yeah. So we only got 4.
On the score sheet, it said 1 for 12.
But that's because it was like 4 on 4. But like when you guys are your 4
It says we had 41 minutes on 17 infractions.
It was zooming on Danko quickly. Okay. There's Danko getting another.
Danko, round 4.
Danko's deep in the pastries.
Walking to the rink Saturday morning for our second pregame skate. Should be pretty good. Not too happy about yesterday. It'll be a tough morning skate, short but hard. Bunch of, saw about 20 Komet fans in the stands last night. There were about 20 t-shirts or jerseys. It was pretty cool. It's cool to have that kind of support no matter where you go. Boucher had a nice chat with some Komet fans after the game yesterday that were waiting outside. Yeah.
Where were they from?
They're from Phoenix. From what I gather, they grew up in Fort Wayne. Big fans of, you guessed it, number 2, Key to Tweet. Yeah, it's weird. They've, I think they said they've been here in Arizona for about 25 years, and they still remember he's, what, his 3rd year pro? Win tonight, 3 points on the weekend. Should get some good stuff on the way home.
Yep. A couple sodas.
We just went out there and battled. Luckily, we came out on top. Ended up getting 3 out of 4 points. We feel really good about that. Tonight we're going out for drinks. We're at Chili's right now.
The French Connection.
What's up, us? Hey, c'est bon billes, ça va?
Ashley Scott.
It's Petrasso's birthday today, so we're going to have the rookies sing happy birthday to him. We're still bored, and we got Schrock and Leo racing heads up for $200. Schrock.
Heck, do you think you're gonna beat him?
No.
Honestly?
Honestly.
Can you beat him?
No.
Do you know how fast I really am? I'm really fast.
So am I. $200 on the line here. Here your money on.
Oh, false start. Oh, Sharky. Oh, Leo. Leo won that. Sharky.
Welcome back to the Coliseum, getting ready for period 2. The Komets hope to have a little better production as they trail the Icemen 1-0. We'll be back with second period action here on Xfinity.
Hoosier TV and WTTS presents Studio 92 On Demand. Available only on Hoosier TV. Just press the On Demand button in your Comcast remote and check out Studio 92. See some of your favorite artists recorded live in the intimate and acoustic setting of WTTS Studio 92.
Check out Train. They stopped by Studio 92 to sing a few tunes. Hit the on-demand button on your Xfinity remote right now.
Hoosier TV and WTTS. On Demand, world-class rock.
Evers, why isn't there more on demand on here?
How am I supposed to know? The world's a mystery.
I thought you were the latest in technology.
Well, I was back then. My phone wires were young and life was simple. Now I'm supposed to have as much on demand as Xfinity from Comcast, on TV and online. Enjoy your youth, kid, because one day you will turn around and it will be leaving in mid-conversation.
Uverse's old phone wires can't handle what Xfinity can. Visit Xfinity Can to learn more.
Opening night for the Central Hockey League season for the Fort Wayne Komets, and historic night celebrating their 60th season of professional hockey. Only a handful of teams have been in business longer. The longest tenured is Hershey, which began playing in 1938 in Springfield, Massachusetts in 1940, and these Fort Wayne Komets back in 1952. A packed house, though disappointed after the opening 20 minutes of play because the K's trail the Evansville Icemen by the score of 1-0. Bob Ganau, Kent Horman here on Xfinity. And Bob, as you see what happened in the first period, you were talking about this, that it seems like Evansville came out with just a little more hop in the step, just a little more hustle. Probably the product of being the road team with all of the pageantry and all of the opening night, the significance of season number 60, maybe getting the Komets a little bit back on their heels. What do you think head coach Al Sims told the boys in the locker room between periods?
Oh, I think he just told them to calm down. They've only been in camp 3 weeks, playing 2 exhibition games in which the whole team obviously didn't play together. This is the first time that they've played together. Opening night at home. Evansville took it to us in the first period. They got a period under their belt. Now they can settle down and play their game.
The teams are returning to the ice. There's a look at Jamie Milam, who the Komets acquired this season after he was part of the Boucher Shreveport Mudbugs team that won the Central Hockey League Championship last year. And again, not really much on the stat sheet for period 1. The lone goal in the first period came off the stick of Evansville's John Ronan at the 6:54 mark, assisted by Josh Bolio and Todd Robinson. Just a couple of penalties, both of those going to Fort Wayne. Bryant Molly for tripping at 11:33. Artem Podchenyalov for hooking at 17:14. But Evansville did not cash on those power play opportunities. Icemen out shooting Fort Wayne 12-4. That will have to change for the Komets in period 2. And there is a look at the young goaltender, 24-year-old Pierre-Olivier Peltier, tending the goal for the Evansville Icemen. Robinson and Chalk set to draw for period 2. Robinson wins it, draws it back to Matt Jens, and here come the Icemen again, looking to break out to start the opening action here in period number 2. Off the boards, played by Leo Thomas. He spins around, dumps it deep. Thomas regains control of the puck, looking to center back to the point. Molly with the one-timer, steered away, and Chalk tries to shovel in the rebound. The puck again comes back to the point, kept in on a good reach that time by Milam. Now Chalk has the puck chipped past him by Robinson, deep into the corner, as the check is applied by Philippe Plante. Komets obviously a little more intensity here to start period 2. Big check is dished out that time by Chalk, and it comes back as Molly dumps it deep into the corner, but it's ferreted out of there by Evansville, and now hustling back to get it will be Dustin Molly. Dumps a little backhand pass off the boards. Thomas looks ahead, and Schrock will dump it deep into the Evansville corner. Peltier will leave for his defenseman as Macway comes across to Obermeyer. Now Obermeyer reverses his field and dumps it along the boards. A little too strong that time for Bicek. And now Auger, a forward pressed into defensive action, just dumps it into neutral ice. And the Icemen again, backhanded pass. Here comes Bicek on the off wing. He's chased by DeAngelis, and Schrock controls for Fort Wayne. Schrock starts the rush for the Komets, slips the check, and now he'll dump it deep where Peltier will sweep it away into the corner. That time goes off the body of Chaumont. Schrock controls, little backhander is kicked aside that time by Peltier. Komets control, and there's going to be a delayed penalty on Evansville. As Boucher heads for the bench, it'll be touched by McWay, and the first penalty of the evening will be assessed to Evansville. And it'll be a hooking call coming at the 1:45 mark of period 2. So the Komets will put their power play unit on the ice for the first time. And I'll tell you, Bob, if there's anything that Al Sims does preach, every coach does, but Al Sims really concentrates on special teams.
Yes, he does. We won 3 championships in 3 years because we had good special teams, penalty killing, power plays. That's always been his trademark, and see how this year's team stacks up.
Angelis controls at the point. Goes cross ice, takes the return pass, feathers it over to Thomas. Thomas goes deep, and that time the centering pass by Risk is steered to the corner. Risk regains and now dumps back to Thomas along the hash. They come across, and snapping the shot goes hard off the pads that time of Peltier, and DeAngelis cannot control as the Komets bidding for the first goal of the season. It was a good quick shot by Tristan Llewellyn. Ponchettilov controls his backhand pass, too strong past Llewellyn, and DeAngelis has to go back to regroup. DeAngelis, with some speed, tries to cross center ice, but a good poke check by Matt Pierce. Brett Smith circles, dumps it deep at the backhand where Peltier will leave for his defenseman, who just rings it around the boards. Komets do keep it in. And McWay tries to put a big foot in front of that as bodies collide. Smith, Chalk. Komets trying to get some action going on the power play. Just under a minute to go in the man advantage. It's steered to center ice, and it'll be Milam leaving for Chalk. Chalk wheels in the center ice area, fires across to Benefield. He just dumps it in, and it's controlled by Peltier. Cleared by the length of the rink by Evansville. Now 35 seconds to go in the power play for the Komets. They really haven't had much going. One last rush. Here comes Chalk. Has it poked away on a good play that time by Jake Obermeyer. And now here comes Milam starting the rush for Fort Wayne. Chalk over center ice. Pounded that time by William. Centering pass intended for Chalk is blocked away. Puck goes back in a big drive by Milam. Goes a little bit wide, and racing back to take over is Auger as the penalty now expires, so the team's at full strength. Dick Schneider bumped off the play that time by Schrock, but getting it along the boards is Bicek. Bicek tries to center the pass, and it goes over the stick of his teammate. Bicek tries to regain control. Meanwhile, Philippe Plante trying to create some traffic in front of the Komet goal. There's a shot steered aside by Boucher. Centering pass is punched to the corner by Schrock. And it'll be Auger. And across to DeAngelis. Caroms it off the boards for Schrock. Schrock looks to center, comes across. And streaking down the middle was DeAngelis, but the pass just a little too sharp. And now here come the Evansville Icemen. As coming off the wing is Bicek. Plante with the shot just wide. And it clears the zone back out to center ice where it's controlled by Plante. Racing in is Jens. Jens slips one check. Jens trying to knife through the Komet defense, but he's pushed off into the corner. Misses the hip check as he falls heavily to the ice. And the K's looking to clear. Mealy has it poked away that time by Bolio, and it lines up again in the neutral zone. Now Jens feeds ahead where the puck is left for Robinson. One-timer that time. Good block that time off the skate of Tristan Llewellyn, and the Komets looking to break out. Flipping it in is Chaumont. Chaumont has it along the near boards. Risk trying to get in there. But Evansville takes control, and whirling around in his own zone is Jens. He just goes cross ice. And Robinson takes the pass, comes to center, but it's intercepted by the Komets. Racing in is Risk. Risk leaves. Leo Thomas, a nifty move, but the shot is just steered away. It's wound up in the netting, so there will be a whistle and a face-off. 14:29 to go in period 2, 1-0 in favor of Evansville. And one thing we're noticing here, I think, in the opening 5 minutes, Bob, it looks like the Komets have ramped up the intensity just a little bit as we see an attempt here on the replay as risk to Thomas, and Thomas just couldn't quite finish.
Plus, we've had 5 shots already, and we only had 4 the whole first period, so.
Now off the face-off, one of the Icemen falls heavily to the ice. Isaac is upset with one of the Komets as he rubs off chalk, and here comes Evansville. Boy, that could have been a breakaway, but a great poke check that time as the K's Frankie DeAngelis prevented a possible breakaway for Evansville. Now DeAngelis looks to chip it along the boards, but it's kept in by John Ronan. Ronan has the game's lone goal. McWay turns at center, but intercepted by Benefield. Benefield, who a consistent goal scorer in the Central Hockey League, is trying to get himself off to a hot start. Quick shot by Bicek. Save Boucher, and the rebound again is steered aside. The net is off its mooring. Well, right now, Boucher has been the difference, Bob, as you pointed out earlier, in a 1-goal game versus about a 3-goal game.
Exactly, and there was another just awesome rebound save.
Well, there is a timeout here at the Coliseum, and that man, Nick Boucher, has kept this one close. 13:48 to go in period 2. It's 1-0 in favor of Evansville. Opening night of hockey here in Fort Wayne. You have it all here on Xfinity. This is Komet Hockey.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
What happened that night? What happened?
Hubert!
Oh, my God. You could give a guy a heart attack.
What are you doing?
I'm doing jumping jacks. What do you think I'm doing? I'm sleeping in your laundry.
Wait, it's taking this long to download my movie because you're napping?
No, it's taking that long because I'm Uverse. Get Xfinity from Comcast. It's twice as fast as I am. We're done here, right? I'm pretty sure we're done here.
Uverse's old phone wires can't handle what Xfinity can. Visit Xfinity Can to learn more.
Now back at the Coliseum, Evansville still leading the Komets 1-0 with 13:48 to go in the second period, and Nick Boucher has been the big difference in goal for the Komets as the Icemen break in. A quick shot by Bicek steered aside, and look at the full extension of the leg by Boucher to deny the rebound. Now the Komets break out, and hustling in is Mealy. Behind the goal, Peltier backhands it along the boards, and it is cleared as here come the Icemen once again. Dumping ahead is Mike Soroy. Bodies collide behind the goal. Now William looking to keep things going, but on Michael Risk as they battle along. Now the Komets continue to try to dig it out of their own zone. Bryant Molly. And a good little move that time by Llewellyn as he feeds ahead. They're busting in as Mealy. Mealy's shot is tipped away by Schneider. Komets keep it deep, and Mealy is the navigate his way through traffic. Pajchenilov spins. Now Pajchenilov still controls, looking for some open ice. Pajchenilov, a quick snapshot. Right on and kicked out of there. Schneider facing some heavy pressure by the Komets as Chalk comes in on the change. Steers it behind and coming out trying to make something happen as Mealy comes back to the point. And then the shot goes off the skate of Dustin Johnson. But the Komets again applying much more intensity in the Evansville zone here in period 2. Try to play a little carom off the boards, and it gets close. Now bodies collide as Mealy gets a shove that time from Malcolm William. Cooler heads will prevail. So now we have a conversation going on near the blue line as somebody in Evansville wants a piece of Llewellyn. Well, that would be Mike Soroy, and as we took a look at some of the early scouting, Bob, that is no surprise, as Soroy is one of those rough and tough customers. Spent some time last year in the American Hockey League, primarily in the Central League with Colorado and Texas. and had 114 penalty minutes. So a big guy. Looks like he likes to mix things up a little bit. And again, the Komets continue to apply the pressure, and it's just chipped out. There it's intercepted by Milan, dumps it back in. Komets clear the zone, but Evansville looks to regroup and send it ahead. Time it winds up in the stands. 12:20 to go in period number 2. Here's a look at the head coach, Al Sims, in his 9th season with the Komets. He's won 4 championships in Fort Wayne, and anybody wants to know an anecdote about Al Sims? When he played the National Hockey League with the Boston Bruins as a defenseman, you may have heard of the guy he skated next to, a fellow named Bobby Orr. One of the all-time great defensemen and a Hall of Famer, and somebody is going to be assessed a slashing penalty right off the face-off. Judging by the reaction of the fans, it will be a Komet. And it'll be Jesse Benefield who's going to be penalized on the slash. Here's a look at Rich Crom, who's the veteran coach of the Evansville Icemen. Actually, that's Gary Graham, the Komet assistant. Still peeking into the Komet bench. Gary Graham, an assistant coach for the Komets. Rich Crom is the veteran coach of the Evansville Icemen, who also coached in Muskegon. So the third power play for the Icemen, they came up empty on their first 2. Komets try to clear but can't, as Jens kept it in. And this time Chalk does a good job of sending it the length of the rink to buy the Komets a little time. Well, Colin Chalk, the Komet captain, always a prolific point producer, but he is always rated one of the top defensive forwards in the league year in and year out. Now they scrum along the boards, and coming out of it is Chalk as ahead to Risk. Komets have a little bit of room to operate. Risk and Chalk break out. Risk just dumps it ahead, but Chalk will chase it down, and he'll be first to the puck. Just weaves it off the board, slips the check at Jens. Now Robinson applying pressure. There was a slash right there, and there was no call. Robinson just slashed Chalk to the ice. Now a cross check by Philippe Plante, and that one will be called. I'll tell you, Bob, we know a little bit about that rivalry between Chalk and Robinson. That time, Robinson just chopped Chalk to the ice, and then Plante got caught on the second time around. As we take a look, Chalk slips the check of Jens, and here comes Robinson.
Well, Robinson's very good with his stick, either with the puck or the errant slash now and again.
But then Plante came in and dished out a cross check. So that will erase the power play for Evansville. And the teams are skating 4-on-4. The Komets again trying to ramp up the intensity. Wheeling around in the zone is Brett Smith, and he's being pressured along the boards by Bicek. Now coming out is Jake Obermeyer, but poked away that time by Auger. 11 minutes to go here in period number 2. Still 1-0 in favor of Evansville. Komets, though, have controlled the early part of the play here in period 2. Now busting it off the wing is Schrock. His low shot kicked aside by Peltier. Racing in, trying for the rebound is Auger, but just can't quite get it. And now Macway will regroup for Evansville. The center, he turns and gives it to Bicek, who wheels, now comes back up. Looks for some space at neutral ice. 3 Komets will close on him. Now Robinson doesn't apply any pressure at all to Auger. Now he comes around the net. Played along the boards, just chipped ahead. Chalk can't quite corral the puck. Now it goes back to Jens in his own end. Jens weaves past the forecheck of Chalk and comes ahead, leaves it to Polio. And his attempt to go back to the point is long. Racing out is Leo Thomas, but Peltier pumps the puck ahead. Now a big slap shot, gloved by Boucher, and he'll leave for DeAngelis. Komets now have about 30 seconds of power play time, and another penalty is going to be called on Evansville. I wonder again if they're going to get Robinson this time for using the stick. Leo Thomas breaks in, loses his edge, but hustling in is Pachenyalov to see if the Komets can get to it. Llewellyn at the point. Comes back, Komets with the man advantage, goes off the skate of Schneider, and as Mealy tries to get to the puck, the whistle blows, and there will be another penalty assessed to Evansville, and this time it'll be another slashing, and that will come at the 10:18 mark.
And I think you're right, it is Mr. Robinson. Even though he's whining about it.
Well, Robinson got away with a slash the first time. As there you now you're looking into the Evansville bench, and you do see their veteran coach, Rich Crom. So Robinson goes in 2 minutes for slashing. The Komets actually have 12 seconds of a two-man advantage. So the best scoring opportunity for the Komets as they trail 1-0 here at the 9:40 mark of period number 2. Milam can't keep it in, so the Komets will have to recycle. And it's wheeled around behind the goal, but Peltier tries to clear it, and he does get it past Auger. And a man out of the box. It'll be an odd man rush for Evansville. Streaking down and scoring on the shot is Bicek. It'll be a shorthanded goal, and the Komets' inability to keep the puck in the zone. With the first player, Plant, coming out, he fed it to Bicek, who shot it into the open net. It's 2-0 in favor of Evansville. And there you see the key, Bob, was the man coming out of the box. It created the odd man rush. A perfect pass to Bicek, and he made no mistake.
Well, it was a pretty goal, even though it was Evansville, but inability to keep the puck in our zone. Just one of those things, man coming out of the box, goes right to him. Defenseman didn't see him.
The goal comes at the 10:36 mark, a shorthanded goal. Brian Bicek from Plant. And it is 2-0 in favor of Evansville, and that is a tough pill for the Komets to swallow, considering they were really controlling the play for the first half of the second period. Now they find themselves down by 2. They still have about 1 minute and 10 seconds left of power play time, but Matt Pierce doing a good job of hounding the Komets in their own end. Now the K's break in, and they'll try to set up the power play. Goes back to DeAngelis. DeAngelis to Chaumont. Chaumont at the top of the circle. DeAngelis the one-timer, but it's tipped away. The Komets continue to dig into the corner. Wrapped around the boards and hustling over to keep it in is DeAngelis. But the linesman says DeAngelis cannot keep it in the zone. That'll be an offside in the Komets. And they're adding an assist to the goaltender, Peltier, on that last goal. So it comes from Bicek, from Philippe Plant, and Peltier. At the 10:36 mark, a shorthanded goal. Draw comes back to Auger. Now rushing in is Mealy on his off wing. He turns, tries to come back to the point. Auger to Milam. Pass is too sharp for Mealy, but behind the goal is Lapointe. Now back to Mealy. Mealy at the hash, tries to skate it in a little tight. Lapointe tries to wrap it in. They jam in front, and Lapointe can't get it in as it's saved by Peltier, and then Lapointe feels a little bit of the aftermath of that with some Evansville sticks giving him a bit of a going over. Well, the shots now favor Evansville 16-12. Komets have outshot them 8-4 here in period 2, and there you see the big scrum in front of the Evansville goal. That's a tough place to set up shop.
But Lapointe was doing what he was supposed to do. Keep pounding at the puck until you hear the whistle, and the defensemen are doing their job.
Now Milam feeds it cross. Comes across to Auger. Auger is just chopped that time by Jake Obermeyer, but coming out of it is Smith. Smith takes a look. Komets have about 8 seconds of power play time. Smith in front, and again losing his edge is Benefield. He had a great opportunity. Milam comes to Auger. Auger tries to play a little carom off the board. Smith looks for the centering pass, but McWay tries to bat it away. Now Chalk skates through a bit of a hook. Smith looking for our teammate to center to, just wheels around the corner, leaves for Chalk. Chalk tries to evade McWay, who just rubs him off the play. Chalk still with the puck, tries to center to Benefield. Return pass is chipped back to neutral ice. Auger knocks it down. And it's back in the Evansville zone as the Komets go for a change. 7:12 to go in period 2. 2-0 in favor of Evansville. And the team's now at even strength. Icemen just standing behind their own goal. They'll finally move things up as Schneider goes for the long pass along the board. Schneider had to pay the price on the hit from Schrock. Now Molly to Podchenyulov. Podchenyulov goes across. Bryant Molly. As Podchenyulov tries to put some pressure on Peltier, but here come the Icemen busting out as Johnson. Johnson has a step. His shot is steered aside with a big pad of Boucher. He loses his stick. The Komets need to clear the zone. And a good job by Dustin Molly to intercept that shot. Komets looking to come out with numbers. Little pass left for Podchenyulov. He tries to curl it in. Centering pass, but no one home. Schrock dumps it back deep. Again, another centering pass. Peltier will just fall on it and take the face off. With 6:16 to go here in period 2. There is a timeout here at the Coliseum as the Komets trail Evansville 2-0 opening night here in Fort Wayne at Memorial Coliseum. This is Komet Hockey on Xfinity.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
In case you've been wondering where we've been all this time, well, now you know. Meet Bill Jr.
Well, we emailed out pictures a while back, but you know DSL. Good things come to those who wait. Which is why we feel Xfinity is too fast for us.
You can say that again.
Which is why we feel Xfinity is too fast for us.
I didn't mean literally say it again.
Go way faster than DSL with Xfinity Internet, only from Comcast.
Bob Ganau, Ken Horman back at the Coliseum. Opening night of hockey here. Central Hockey League season underway, and state rivals Evansville and Fort Wayne locking horns. First game here of the Komets' 60th anniversary season. Right now, the Icemen on top by the score of 2-0. John Ronan with a goal in the first period. And then Brian Bisick, a shorthanded goal here in period 2. Even though the Komets have really carried the play to Evansville here in this second frame. Time Milam dumps it toward the goal. It bounces around a bit and winds up in the corner, cleared to neutral ice, where Dustin Molly backhands it back in. Peltier leaves for Jens. Jens with a long pass and a good solid pass dumped deep into the Komet zone. Jamie Milam tries to wheel it around but can't. He's knocked off the play by Sean O'Connor, the former Komet. His centering pass intercepted by Molly, and Molly comes ahead. Komets looking to break out. Benefield has it poked away. And jumping in to take over is Philippe Plante, and that'll go the length of the rink, and that'll be an icing call. Well, for the game, Evansville has outshot the Komets 17-12. Komets have outshot the Icemen here in the period so far 8-5. But when the Komets were looking to take control on the power play, a little clearing attempt that started off the stick of the goaltender Peltier turned into an odd man rush. Plant set up Bisick, and now it's the Icemen up by 2. Dumped into the corner. Brett Smith again on the hash on the far boards. Goes deep to Schrock. Schrock spins around. Tries to weave through Jens. Now he dumps it deep again for Smith. Smith is now hounded by Robinson. Robinson again applying the stick to Smith. Centering pass goes off the skate of an Iceman. And it's intercepted, and now busting out will be Sean O'Connor. O'Connor clears center ice, comes into the Komet zone, tries to weave past DeAngelis, but it's backhanded out by Auger. McWay reclaims for Evansville. Stepping into the play is Auger. Auger busting in. Podchenyulov to Auger, just over his stick, and Auger winds up in the net. Now, I think some of the fans thought Auger may have had a little help from one of the guys in the dark blue uniforms, but the referee, Kevin Curtis, is signaling the faceoff will be outside the zone. There's a look at Auger trying to split the numbers, feed it over to Podchenyulov.
Oh, he had a little help. but he didn't veer off. He was going full bore towards the net. Referee thought he might have been able to veer off.
Now a crisp pass goes ahead to Ronan. Ronan has one of the goals in the game. Boucher can't stop the puck behind the net. Evansville tries for the quick centering pass, no. And it's kept back in by Jake Obermeyer. Komets trying to clear. Good little move to avoid the traffic by Llewellyn. And the Komets trying to bust out with numbers. Ponchedilov streaking in on the wing. Tries to center, but a good sliding stop that time by Obermeyer to keep the puck out from the front of the net. Bicek can't clear, and now here come the Komets. Ponchedilov, who has great speed. A quick snapshot is gloved. So Peltier hasn't been tested as much as I believe the Komets would like to put the pressure on him, but Pierre-Olivier Peltier, just 24 years old, fills the net in pretty good fashion at 6'2" and 194 pounds.
He's playing his angles very well and stopping everything so far. Although Leo Thomas hit the post in the first period, but he's playing well.
And now the referee, Kevin Curtis, has to step in and send a bunch of the Icemen back to their bench. And again, if you're just trying to get your arms around the nature of hockey, there is some strategy here. The coaches like to match up respective lines with another, and the home team gets the last change. So Rich Crom, the Evansville coach, was trying to sneak some other troops out there to get the advantage he wanted as far as the lines. Set for the faceoff to the left of the goaltender, Peltier. And Leo Thomas behind the goal. Spins around now, looks for somebody to center, instead leaves it deep. Benefield tries to cycle out. Now Benefield dumps it back. Chalk looking. Slips the check that time, leaves for Thomas as they put a lot of pressure on Adam Knop, but he manages to bring it around the boards where it's kept in by Milam. Now Chalk bouncing off the check of Snyder. They center to Benefield, a shot right on and kicked out of there by Peltier. And here come the Icemen back up ice. Up in a little more strongly by Evansville, so that will be an icing against Evansville. Just what we would expect, the capacity crowd here at the Coliseum, 10,071 for opening night here in Fort Wayne. The Komets are looking to get off to a much better start than they did last year, Bob, as you pointed out. Rapid City came in and beat the Komets here 4-0 last year, and the Komets started out by only winning 5 of their first 21 games. An uphill battle throughout the season. They finally got going in February and got to the conference semifinals last year where they were eliminated by Rapid City. So the K is looking to start a new season with a fresh start, a fresh look, and a victory. But right now they've got some catch-up to play as Schrock is pinned along the boards by Philippe Plante. Now they scrum along the near boards as DeAngelis pins his man in. Trying to dig it out is Smith, but he's being bodied by Jens. Backhanded in by Schrock. Here comes DeAngelis. He's in deep. Leaves for Chomot, and the pass intended for Malley is intercepted by Evansville, and they will dump it deep, and icing is waved off. Under 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in period 2. 2-0 in favor of Evansville. The Komets are going for fresh troops. Jens rings it around the boards. And the pass is filtered ahead where it's intercepted by Auger. And the puck is chipped into the Komet bench area. I'll tell you, Bob, after the great start the Komets got off to in this period, they had themselves a brief 2-man advantage. Then they still were working on a power play. That shorthanded goal seemed to have really taken the sails out of them emotionally, and it just seems like they haven't had the pep ever since that shorthanded goal.
No, that was a killer, but they still have an 8-5 advantage in shots, and there's still a lot of game to go.
They'll face it off at center ice. It's drawn back to the Komets. Llewellyn tries to start the pass ahead. Maley will dump it deep, and the Komets will chase. Ponchedilov. It's the center, but tipped away by Makwe. And there's a gang in the deep corner, but swooping in to take over is Evansville. That pass is intercepted that time as Bryant Molly stepped into it, but it's cleared to neutral ice where Neely will have to hustle back. Llewellyn takes the high hit that time from Matt Pierce. Quick shot steered away. Rebound drive is just wide off the stick that time of Bryant Molly. Hayes again looking to make something happen. Molly will just flip a shot just wide again. Looked like it was screened on Peltier. Now cleared to neutral ice again, but it's just flipped in and gloved like a center fielder by Peltier. He leaves for his defenseman. Macway will just spin behind his own goal as we're under a minute and a half to go in period 2. Now Macway thought about going to Robinson, instead just dumped it towards center. Chalk, as here comes Benefield in looking to beat his man, but Macway says he'll have none of that. Molly keeps it in, and again the shot just whistles wide. Hustling over is Thomas, and he puts a heavy hit that time on Bolio. Under a minute to go here in period 2. Sean O'Connor feeds it ahead, and Josh Bolio is offside. Komets picked up the intensity here in period 2, but don't have much to show for it, as there you see one of the newcomers, Jamie Milam. Again, a member of that Boucher Shreveport Mudbugs team that were the Central Hockey League champions last year. And again, here you see another opportunity for the K's, but they just can't quite cash, Bob.
No, they can't. They're not giving up, nor will they give up.
Now Leo Thomas leaves for Benefield, comes cross ice, the one-timer. And it's in the body of Peltier, and he has no idea that he has it. And again, a little action after the play, but it looked like anything will come of it. Again, another good chance for the Komets, but right now, Pierre-Olivier Peltier has stood tall in the Evansville goal. Peltier got into 29 games last year with Laredo of the Central Hockey League. Went 7-15-5 with a 3.42 goals against average, but having a great night so far for Evansville. He has shut down the Komets. Bobby Chaumont on the draw as Bicek swoops the puck away from him. Now Jens along the boards, just flips it ahead. Komets Milam will carry it off the boards. Losing an edge is Kaylee Schrock. Schrock pinned along the boards, but can't come up with the puck. Ronan feeds ahead, and again, Evansville looking for the odd man rush. Bicek whistles in, and the shot is denied that time by Boucher, and now it's Bicek trying to center again, but it goes through the stick of Ronan. A drive from the point, big save by Boucher, and driven to the ice after the play that time. As the Komets are getting a little bit frustrated, so they're making sure that Bicek is not there to pick up any loose change, and Milam delivered the heavy hit.
Well, he's giving Evansville a little bit of their own medicine.
You see on the replay, Evansville doing a good job of creating traffic in front, and Jamie Milam, that's what you call finishing a check.
A good clean hit. Referee's standing right there and agreed with him.
6 seconds to go. Robinson will try to win the draw, and he does, but the defenseman was sneaking in, and that time for Jens, and the horn blows, and that will end period number 2. You could say on the one hand it was a better period for the Fort Wayne Komets, but they still trail 2-0 at the end of 2. We'll be back with more from the Fort Wayne Memorial Coliseum. 2-0 Icemen, Komet Hockey on.
In the comedy business, clubs rely on two separate yet equally important groups. Comedians who tell jokes and the crowds who laugh at them. These are their stories.
Doink, doink. It's Trial by Laughter, brought to you by Morty's Comedy Joint and Comcast. 36 comedians, one winner. Tickets are $15. First 10 people to call get their tickets free. Call 317-848-5500. For more information, click mortyscomedy.com.
As you all know, Quest and CenturyLink have come together, and thankfully, they still offer the same old DSL speeds.
And?
To show our appreciation, I've taken the liberty of creating a new mascot. I present to you the CenturyLink Sloth. Half snail, half sloth. It's really slow.
What about Slail? It's got a nice ring to it, no?
We're going with Sloth.
Go faster than CenturyLink DSL with Xfinity Internet, only from Comcast.
Every week, the nation's best lay their season on the line.
End zone ahead.
Experience the pageantry, the intensity, and every defining moment.
The fans have stormed the field.
When the game's historic rivals and biggest contenders battle in the drive to the national championship. All season long on ESPN and ESPN2. College football lives here.
The 9/11 memorial is for my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
And for my brother.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
And that we are strong.
It's for the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. To learn more or to reserve your visit, go to 911memorial.org.
Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. Bob Ganau, Kent Horman here in Xfinity 81. We have completed 2 periods of play, and right now the play has favored the visiting Evansville Icemen in this season opening battle of Indiana State hockey teams, Fort Wayne and Evansville, as a goal scored in the second period as Brian Bisick broke in with Philippe Plante shorthanded and scored at the 10:36 mark. An assist also given to Pierre-Olivier Pelletier, the goaltender, who started the play by clearing the puck out of his own zone. So Evansville having the better of it so far as they lead the Komets 2-0 after 40 minutes of play. We'll step aside for a little bit once more and take a look at one of our Outside the Jungle features here on Xfinity. As the K's gear up for every game, their gear has to be in perfect working order. Make no bones about it. Let's take a look at the K's equipment managers.
I'm Mark Bradmiller, co-equipment manager for the Fort Wayne Komets.
I'm Andy Desmond, another co-equipment manager for the Fort Wayne Komets.
And this is behind stage with us.
All right, now we're going to start some laundry. And while the guys were on the ice during practice, I always pre-fill up the washer with detergent and water, because that way it saves about 15 minutes of time at the end of practice. You know, a lot of this job is about trying to find ways to save time, because then it gives you more time to do things later on, like if a guy breaks a skate or something along those lines.
Yeah, back in the old IHL, when you picked a team up at the airport, it was $60. When you had taken back, it was another $60 and $30 a day for laundry. But there's pretty much a non-verbal agreement with every team in the league that you'll just do their laundry and they'll do yours when you get there and stuff. So most teams, with flying the way it is, you really can't pick anyone up at the airport anymore, especially in our white van. Might creep a few security guards out. We pulled up next to the building, so teams just get on the bus and just come here, so we don't get that extra ching anymore.
It's a little secret. Your shirt's staticky, is that a word? Static?
Static.
Staticky? That's not a word, is it?
I don't know.
If your shirt has static electricity, there we go.
Tire sheet.
And is this part of the daily routine, Andy, where you rub dryer sheets all over the players?
This is extracurricular.
It's called job security.
And here's all of our stick tools, our trunks, stuff that we take on the road. This is our little closet of heaven here.
This is a repair board. So repairs can be done, like, for instance, once it's stage sharpened, so we'll put 13 stage sharpened. If the guy has like a tear or something torn in equipment, they'll put like sew shoulder pads or fix shin pads or rivets on skates, basically anything that needs to be fixed. They'll put their number and what needs to be done, so that way we know when we come in the morning and if we have time in the afternoon, we'll get that fixed for the next day's practice. Over here we have the skates. Tells what the numbers are for all the players, how deep they want their skates sharpened, so that way some guys want them done before the pregame skate, after the pregame skate, and some guys will just let you know when they're ready for a sharpen. So this way we know what guy gets how deep their skates are sharpened and when they want them done. Bone, say hi. Bonjour.
Best part of waking up right here.
Is this another one of your guys' time-saving tactics here?
This is part of our community service right here.
Basically, we fill up the water bottles and we put them in the refrigerator in the other room, then they're cold for the next day's practice. So this is kind of like, even though today's practice just got over, it's part of our process of getting ready for tomorrow's practice before tomorrow.
Now, how early do you guys normally have to get here on a normal practice day?
I get here about. I try to get here about 8, 8:15, 8:30, somewhere in that vicinity, because it's early enough the guys aren't here yet, but I mean, there's really not a whole lot to do unless like equipment needs repaired, because we usually get it done the day before. That way everything's ready to go before the day starts. Bones gets here about 7. He doesn't like to hang out at home very much.
Now, as soon as I get out the door, I'm out the door. Weird.
Because no one's making so you come in.
Can we turn that down?
Oh, we're tossing the deuces up.
I was say I definitely can't hear you whenever that's on.
Just straighten up. They usually leave magazines all over the floor. Pick those up. We'll take out trash here. Very exciting job for all you kids out there wanting to know what it all entails.
Wanted to set your goals high.
Just another day in paradise, living the dream.
Yes, sir. All right, here we have different colored jerseys for different colored lines. We have a blue line, a green line, a red line. Defensemen are in orange, and goaltenders are in ragged orange. These are typically the lines you see on the ice when there's a 5-on-5. When there's a penalty kill or a power play, the lines might be a tad bit different. But, we're setting up for practice on a Wednesday, so we don't have to worry about the PK. We keep all the stalls the same: pants, garter belts, jocks, shoulder pads, elbow pads on the outside, gloves in the middle, helmet in the middle, shin guards on top. Guys have room underneath to put their personal bags and their travel bags and shoes or whatever they use. Jerseys, they'll have socks hanging in their pants when I get them finished and dried, hanging up.
Fill out the fine board.
Yes, sir.
Guys, coming out of the checks today, so I got a picture of it.
Well, update your Facebook with the status. Make it official, dude.
Players have a fine list, so whenever they don't follow the rules, they get fined. But me and Bones never get fined because we always know what's going on. We always follow the rules.
You've been watching Outside the Jungle on Xfinity. You've seen our crib. Now it's time to get out.
From the Jeep Girls, welcome to Outside the Jungle on Xfinity.
Everyone has a favorite Komet or favorite Komet moment. In this edition of Outside the Jungle, we hear from the fans in the stands.
Go Komets!
He shoots, he scores!
I love bringing my son to the Fort Wayne Komets. Go Komets!
I love icy.
I love taking my family to the Komets game.
Icy Rocks!
Family activity, I can bring the kids. He's a 2-year-old Komets fan, and I think he's going to be a Komets fan for life.
Komets! Touchdown! He shoots, he scores! Icy Rocks! I love Komets!
I've been here a long, long time.
What do you love about Comet hockey?
Everything.
49 years. What's your favorite thing about Comet hockey?
It's just a good family sport.
I love Komet hockey. It's the best there is.
Go Komets!
He shoots, he scores! We love the Komets! We love Icy! Komets rock! Go Komets! Komets! Icy rocks!
I've been going to Komet games since 1952.
Now let's take a look at some of the K's action on the ice. It's time for Jungle Jam. Now back at the Coliseum, they have cleaned the ice, and the teams will be coming back for their final 20 minutes of play. Opening night here at the Coliseum. Evansville leads the Komets 2-0. We'll be back with third period action here on Xfinity.
The NFL on Fox is counting down to liftoff. It all starts with America's #1 pregame show. Then, every week, catch the best players and the biggest games. Fox NFL Sunday, all season long.
What happened that night? What happened?
Hubert!
Oh, my God, you could give a guy a heart attack.
What are you doing?
I'm doing jumping jacks. What do you think I'm doing? I'm sleeping in your laundry.
Wait, it's taking this long to download my movie because you're napping?
No, it's taking that long because I'm Uverse. Get Xfinity from Comcast. It's twice as fast as I am. We're done here, right? I'm pretty sure we're done here.
Uverse's old phone wires can't handle what Xfinity can. Visit Xfinity Can to learn more.
Bob Ganow, Ken Hortman back at Memorial Coliseum as we're getting set for third period action. Opening night of the Central Hockey League season here in Fort Wayne, and also a special night for the Komets, their 60th anniversary season. Tell you what, Bob, for the most part, the Komets have been very, very successful in their history in home openers. 38-16-1-4 in their first game of the season in their history here at the Coliseum. But right now, down 2 goals heading into what could be the final 20 minutes. And if they lose tonight, it would be their second straight home opening loss since they've joined the Central Hockey League.
That's true. But in the second period, they kind of came to life. They outshot Evansville 12-7. They finally got on the power play, but that was kind of their undoing as the goaltender fired the puck out. A quirky bounce right to the man coming out of the box. He made a perfect pass, and Bicek buried it for a shorthanded goal just after the Komets came out and pretty much controlled the play. They eliminated Robinson and Sean O'Connor almost the whole period, and Robinson, in his usual fashion, when he gets hounded, starts slashing and ended up taking a penalty.
There was a look at the veteran Todd Robinson, so the Komets will really have to come out with even more intensity here to start the third period. Oftentimes you really want to make something happen in that first 5 minutes of play if the Komets will have any hope at all of getting back into this game. Again, the Central Hockey League is a 14-team league. Some other scores: Allen leads 2-0 at Wichita, middle of the second period. Bloomington 3-2 over Dayton. That's middle of the second period. Rapid City a 2-0 lead at Quad City, and that was a second period score. Other games going on: Tulsa at Texas, later on Laredo at Arizona, and getting ready for period 2, Missouri leads Rio Grande Valley 2-1. We're underway here in Fort Wayne for period 3. The Komets need to make something happen, trailing Evansville by the score of 2-0. Amy Milam just dumps it right through the middle, but claimed by Evansville, and as the puck is chipped in off the stick of Josh Bolio, gloved by Boucher, and they'll have to settle for a faceoff. We had another backstory to tonight's game where Komets were a little short on defense, with David Strinky and Brandon Warner being placed on injured reserve. So Chris Auger, usually a forward, agreed to take some shifts in defense. And the backup goaltender, Kevin Beach, inactive tonight, as he had some issues they had to settle to make him eligible. So the coach's son, Tyler Sims, is actually dressed as the backup goaltender tonight. Be a much heavier workload this season, at least early on, for Nick Boucher. And there is a quick shot and a score. And Sean O'Connor, the former Komet, comes back to bite the hand that once fed him, as the Komets quickly were unable to clear their zone. And that line again clicks with Robinson and also Bolio and the former Komet Sean O'Connor. You see that time as Plant kept it in. The quick centering pass. O'Connor again goes upstairs over the glove hand of Nick Boucher. So the former Komet Sean O'Connor, his first goal, and now 3-0 in favor of Evansville.
I think for playing with Nick for the last 3 years, I think he kind of knows his weaknesses. saw him leaning and put it right over his glove.
Well, the goal is the former Komet O'Connor. It comes at the 34-second mark. And the assists go to the wily veteran Robinson, his second point of the night, and also to Plant, his second point of the night. And now Evansville starting to take control. This is exactly what the Komets were looking to do to start the third period. A quick goal. Instead, as they say, the Icemen cometh, and they continue to come at the Komets. So the K's need some instant offense here in the third. Showman is rubbed off the play by Bicek, but it comes to Smith as Smith's shot is deflected, fouls it into the corner, and the quick follow off the pads first of Peltier, and then a rebound is gloved by Peltier, and now Schrock. Now it looks like he's going to go with somebody. It looks like we're going to have a couple people go. Kaylee Schrock is squaring off right now, and this is one of the things I think they felt needs to energize the Komets, as Schrock does not hesitate to go with anybody. And Schrock is trading him right now, and it looks like Smith is also going to go. So a couple of tilts going on right now. Looks like John Ronan is getting mixed up right now with Brett Smith, as Schrock stood toe-to-toe with Mockway, and meanwhile you have the joust continue behind the net with Brett Smith and John Ronan. And Bob, this is clearly just a sign of the Komets' frustration boiling over, but also on that rebound right in front, boy, all of a sudden you had three Icemen just smothering Schrock.
Well, they've pretty much had all their fill. They're not going to take it anymore, and this should energize them.
So it'll be Schrock and Mockway, and Smith and Ronan comes at the 1:21 mark. And those will be fighting majors. And again, if you want to know a little bit more about Kaylee Schrock, he is a Fort Wayne kid, born and raised here in the Summit City. Played high school hockey here, went off to play some college hockey. And 3 years ago, he was a long shot to make the Fort Wayne Komets, wound up being part of a couple of championships. There you see the officiating crew, referee Kevin Curtis, the linesman Daniel Cohen, and Zach Thornton, as they will meet out the penalty time, but it looks like it'll be Kaylee Schrock and Steve Mockway. And the Komets' Brett Smith and Evansville's John Ronan going off for fighting, but Schrock was told this wasn't a guy who was really much of a pugilist in his youth. He was told he'd probably literally have to fight his way onto the team, and he more or less did. And very successfully. You see, Schrock is very, very difficult to get off his skates, even if he's going against a bigger guy. Mockway listed at 6'5", 230, while Schrock is 5'11" and 190, but Schrock standing right in there.
Smith certainly didn't back down from Ronan either.
So the fisticuffs here early in the third period. It has boiled over largely from the frustration of the Komets. 3-0 in favor of Evansville.
Both captains are waiting on the referee's decision. Chalk and Robinson, mirror images of each other.
Well, and literally, Bob, mirror images, because you have Chalk wearing 91 and Robinson wearing 19. And again, those two have lined up against each other many a time.
And they're chit-chatting. I think they're friends or friendly.
Well, maybe. I think they're perhaps a little friendly. I'm not sure they're on each other's Christmas card list.
Well, respectful.
I think there is mutual respect. I think that's fair. And again, you talk about veterans. Colin Chalk, 34 years old. Todd Robinson, a year younger at 33, but they've been around minor league hockey for quite a while. Well, it's interesting because you really have to wonder what is taking Kevin Curtis so long to sort all this out, unless he's going to add some additional stuff in there rather than just fighting majors to the four combatants, Schrock, Mockway, Smith, and Ronan. And if you just might be tuning in, pleased to be with you tonight here on Xfinity. We talked about at the top of the broadcast, a historic evening for the Komets, as you have the 60th season of professional hockey here in Fort Wayne. And the first time we've had the opportunity to have Komet hockey here on Xfinity. So this is the first of what could be 5 games this season on Xfinity. The next broadcast will be New Year's Eve when the Bloomington Blaze come to town. Other broadcasts are scheduled for February 10th, which is report card night here in Fort Wayne, a popular program with the schools.
2 minutes roughing for Evansville's number 27, Steve McWay. 2 minutes roughing, 5 minutes fighting.
Well, they're handing out the penalties.
5 minutes fighting in a game misconduct for being aggressive.
And Smith, this will be a blow to the Komets. Smith is being given a 5-minute fighting penalty and a game misconduct for being an aggressor.
2 minutes roughing, Evansville's 27, McWay. 2 minutes roughing, 5 minutes fighting. Komets Smith.
So McWay gets 2 minutes roughing. Rona gets 2 minutes roughing.
McAway also got a 5-minute fighting.
And Schrock also got a 5-minute fighting.
And Smith got 5-minute fighting and a game misconduct.
Well, I don't think Al Sims is very happy with the way they sorted that out. And there you see the veteran coach.
But in essence, we end up with a power play.
Yeah, there were 2 Icemen sitting in the penalty box, and it's the one for the Komets. That would be Kaylee Schrock. Now the referee once again, Kevin Curtis, has to go over and sort things out near the scorer's bench. If you just may be tuning in, this is Central Hockey League action. State rivals here in Indiana, the Fort Wayne Komets, the Evansville Icemen. Evansville scored a goal in the first period. John Roden with assist from Josh Bolio, and Todd Robinson came at 6:54. A big goal came in period 2 from Evansville as Brian Bisick scored on an assist from Philippe Plant, and the goaltender Pierre-Olivier Pelletier in a short-handed goal. Came at 10:36, and then just 34 seconds here into the third period, the former Komet, Sean O'Connor, beat Nick Boucher, assisted by Robinson and Plant. You want to know how popular Komet hockey is? We'll take a look at that. The 10th season opener where the Komets have had over 10,000 fans in attendance. This city has embraced the Komets from the get-go. All 60 years worth. Well, now we're back to playing hockey. And the Komets are on a 4-on-3 man advantage as Milam to Benefield. Benefield shovels back behind where Pelletier tries to just snare it off the boards, and he does. So Milam regroups back at center ice. Now Milam ahead to Chalk. Chalk weaves through, centers to Milam. Milam feeds it over to Benefield. Benefield at the far hash. Now back up top to Milam over to DeAngelis. DeAngelis cycles over to Chalk. Chalk, Milam, instead of the one-timer, feathers it back into the corner. Now Benefield leaves for Chalk. Chalk rubs it around the boards. DeAngelis collects. Now it's Frankie DeAngelis to Colin Chalk. Chalk up top to DeAngelis. The one-timer right on. It is tipped in front by Benefield, and it trickles in for a goal. It's being waved off by Curtis. And the Komets will want an explanation for that, Bob.
Well, referee was right in position. He blew the whistle as the puck was rolling up the goaltender's pads. By the time he blew the whistle, play is dead, then it rolled in. A little quick whistle, but unfortunately.
Now let's take a look at the replay, and this could be a tough call from Curtis. There you see the puck is rolling around. That was a loose puck, and Kevin Curtis blew the whistle while the puck was still active.
But from his angle, Evansville wears the dark pants. He probably could not see the puck rattling around.
Now that's a huge break for the Icemen, and all Curtis could do was offer the explanation, and especially to Coach Al Sims, saying he lost sight of the puck, and that's what referees are called upon to do. You lose sight of the puck, you blow the whistle, but that puck looked like it was still active. And now the 10,000 strong fans here at the Coliseum are letting the referee, Kevin Curtis, hear it. But the Komets have to concentrate still with the man advantage. Another one-timer right on. Benefield cannot tuck in the rebound. And Evansville will try to clear, and they do. Boucher gathers the puck behind the goal. Steaming around to start the rush. Here comes the Komets to Angeles. Now to Angeles. Past one man. Feeds the pass over. Chalk rings it around the boards. Back to DeAngelis. DeAngelis cruises in top of the circle. His drive is tipped up over by Benefield. That's into the protective netting, and there will be a face-off. Well, and we have the luxury of replays here with our broadcast. There is a big jumbo scoreboard here at center ice here at Memorial Coliseum, and the fans are able to see replays as well. So that's why the chorus of boos, because in their opinion, they saw that puck was still rolling around in front of the goal. Unfortunately, the one guy who had to see it, referee Kevin Curtis, lost sight of the puck and blew the whistle before the puck crossed the goal line, which keeps the Komets off the board. Now Podchenyulov hounds his man. Komets keep it in. Oh, redirected in front, but again, the K's can't finish, and putting the big mid over it is Peltier, is Leo Thomas on the doorstep.
Well, Leo's played a good game. He hit the post in the first period. Seems like his ankle problem is a lot better this year. Hopefully it can stay healthy.
Well, and for the game, the Komets have now outshot Evansville 22-21. As they hold a 6-2 advantage so far here in the third. 17.
Problem is, one of theirs went in.
Yeah. As we're under now 17 minutes to play, the Komets need some instant offense, and they need to cash on this power play. Milam up top. Over to Chalk. Chalk fakes the shot, tries to come across to Frankie DeAngelis. DeAngelis cycles back, leaves for Milam. Milam comes across to Chalk. And Chalk just tries to feather a pass in front, too strong for Podchenyulov, and now it'll be Evansville going on the power play. DeAngelis releases a quick shot off the blocker, that time of Peltier, and here come the Icemen trying to fight through the Podchenyulov check, and he's going to get a penalty. It'll be a hooking penalty to Podchenyulov, and that will really put Evansville in business. That'll come at the 3:33 mark, and it is the second hooking penalty tonight called on Podchenyulov. Well, things just keep getting a little deeper for the Komets, Bob.
Yes, and that was kind of a weak call.
There still was 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining on the penalty to Brett Smith. Now you tack on two more to Podchenyulov for hooking. And it will be a two-man advantage for Evansville, looking to cement this game away. Komets will try to break out, and they can't clear it. That looked like it may have been knocked down with a high stick. They say no, and it was a great job that time by Plant to keep it in. He's had a big night, 2 points. And the pressure continues from Evansville. Now Jens will just cruise it right in, fake the shot, comes across, takes the return pass. In no particular hurry, as Robinson wanted to tee it up, but the pass was in his skates. Now O'Connor, who has a goal, comes up high. Robinson across to Jens. Robinson with the one-timer right on, and it's blocked that time by Boucher. And being escorted into the net that time was Bolio. 15:53 to go in the hockey game, and there you see the Evansville pressure. Big one-timer right on by Robinson, but blocked by Boucher. Tristan Llewellyn tries to clear, can't get it done. Dumped deep in the corner. O'Connor is hounded, now pinned against the boards is Plant by Dustin Molly. And Molly is able to clear it the length of the rink. Peltier quickly comes up and feeds the pass ahead. And here come the Icemen. More pressure, looked like that time. Perhaps Robinson was tripped to the ice, no call. Now Robinson comes up top. Jens to Robinson. O'Connor at the side, comes right through the slot. Jens to Robinson. Robinson just walks right in, snaps the shot, goes up high into the netting. And that'll be a whistle and a face-off. I think that time maybe Robinson took too much time, Bob.
I think so. He let Boucher get set for it. But this unit on the ice for Evansville, other than Sean O'Connor, is the old Muskegon Fury with Jens, Robinson. They've been around together for so long, it's just like clockwork.
Now Jens, back to Robinson, back to Jens, little pitch and catch. Robinson down to O'Connor, back up to Robinson. Out of the side of the net, they set it up for Jens. Jens again, unselfishly, is not taking the shot. They try to feed it right in front. The puck caroms around. Now it's tapped back. Robinson to Jens. Jens, Robinson feigns the one-timer. Now back to Jens. They look to go to O'Connor at the side of the net. Good poke check that time by DeAngelis. DeAngelis hauls O'Connor to the ice, but the Komets can't clear. Off the skate of Robinson. Now Robinson, top of the circle. Looks into the corner. Comes up to Jens. Jens one-timer scores. And now 4-0 in favor of the Evansville Icemen.
Plus they still have 57 seconds of power play time left.
They'll come at the 5:24 mark. You see on the replay, it's just like tic-tac-toe. As they feed the pass back to Jens, and his one-timer, Boucher, has no chance, especially with the traffic in front.
They just moved it around till they saw the open shot and took it.
They'll give the goal to Jens on the power play. Robinson with the assist, his third point of the night. Bolio also gets a helper. And now 4-0 in favor of Evansville. And here come the Icemen looking for more. That quick shot steered away by Boucher. Ronan back on the ice, feeds behind. Here's Bicek. Bicek along the near hash. Now feeds it back into the corner. And the Evansville power play again sets up shop. Rubbed off the play is Pierce by Molly. Bicek tries to feed it back, gets it to Ronan. Ronan comes up top. The one-timer is right on by Jake Obermeyer. Well, now all of a sudden, Evansville has reclaimed the momentum, largely based on the resulting power plays that came out of that double fight.
That's true. Evansville got roughing penalties and we got fighting penalties, and that was the difference.
Bicek on the draw with LaPointe, and the Komets win the draw. It's ripped around the boards, but Schneider is there to keep it in play. Now at the sideboards, Ronan behind the net. Tries to feed it in front, cruising through is Bicek, and now a penalty again will be called, and it looks like it'll go against the Komets. Come at the 6:21 mark, and that will be a hooking penalty called to LaPointe.
Evansville's kind of picking up the pressure. Komets are taking penalties, trying to slow them down.
Now there you saw right in front of the net as LaPointe is called for the hook of Brian Bicek. Now it really took the wind out of the Komets sails with the goal by O'Connor just 34 seconds into this third period. And now Evansville is starting to cash on the power play as the Icemen special teams are stepping up. Komets look to break out as they're a man down, and they're also 4 goals down. Here comes Schrock trying to slip his man along the boards, and racing over, looked like to try to plant one on him, was Bolio. Big hit applied by Schrock. 13 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the match, and the Komets trail 4-0 on opening night. Hayes managed to clear that. It's off the body of Jens. Little backhand across to Plant. Plant's had a big night. Now over to the corner, wide open man. Robinson just dumps it deep. But a big hit was applied that time to Bolio, who returns the favor to Auger. Now the Komets trying to hustle with space, and sending it the length of the rink on the clear that time is Bryant Molly. But coming quickly back up, here come the Icemen. Boucher leaves and snapping it off the boards is Frankie DeAngelis. Schneider leaves for Obermeyer. He fires it in on the break. Steered aside by Boucher. Now they battle for it in the corner, but coming away with it is Evansville. Now the Komets try to clear the puck. It comes right onto the stick that time of Pierce. Right on, blocked out of there by Boucher. And now it's sent out into the Evansville zone. 30 seconds remain in the power play for the Icemen. Just over 12 minutes to go in the hockey game. Now leading the charge is Schneider. Schneider snaps the puck into the corner. Goes around the boards where Bicek will collect. Risk will try to chip it out. The biggest cheer of the night from the Komet fans goes when the referee, Kevin Curtis, winds up in the seat of his pants. Boucher will steer it ahead. Now here comes Risk. Risk just will slip it off the boards, and behind the Evansville goal, racing in, is Mealy. Mealy tries to pin his man, but can't get the job done. Now Evansville looking to move the puck ahead. It looked like there was an illegal touch. 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go in period number 3. It's 4-0 in favor of Evansville. Disappointing opening night so far for the Komets, but still some time to get back at it. You'll see more Komet hockey here on Xfinity. Up now, Ken Horman back at the Coliseum. 4-0 in favor of Evansville. Now, 1 week from tonight, the Komets will be right back here at Memorial Coliseum, and they will meet these same Evansville Icemen. So they'll have a week to regroup and sort things out and see how they can solve these guys next time around if they can't make anything happen over the next 11 minutes, 30 seconds. And Bob, as you pointed out earlier, next Saturday night, another jersey comes up into the rafters here at the Coliseum as the Cays will retire the jersey of the great veteran defenseman Guy Dupuis.
All-time games played leader, Komet history.
One of the more popular Komets and a captain for a number of years. On some championship teams, so that'll be 1 week from tonight when these same two teams hook up again here at the Coliseum. Now the Komets trying to apply some pressure, but Peltier, who was at a great night, just sweeps it along the boards, and taking charge of the puck that time is Plant. Plant tries to feed the pass ahead to O'Connor, but misses him, so that'll be an icing call. The one thing about hockey is things can turn in just a matter of seconds or minutes if the Komets could just get on the board first and foremost to say that, yeah, there is space in that net for a puck to fit, but pop a couple of goals in a few minutes, you can get yourselves right back in it. But right now, the Komets have to reclaim the momentum that Evansville took charge with here in the third period, started with that early goal by O'Connor.
Well, they did put one in the net, but it was after the whistle.
And now an offside is called against Fort Wayne. Evansville Icemen are anxious to open a brand new arena down there, the Ford Center. That's someplace worth making a trip to see a game sometime, because that is a state-of-the-art facility. Frankie DeAngelis rips the puck deep into the Evansville zone. That time Boucher tries to run it down behind the net, and coming out with the puck is Chalk. Chalk spins and fires right in front. Benefield misses the rebound, has another chance. That's kicked away by Peltier. A couple of glorious scoring opportunities for Jesse Benefield, but the Komets just can't find the back of the net. Now it's centered in front. Auger off his skate, but can't get the stick on it. Now breaking out is Evansville. That pass was tipped away that time by DeAngelis. Then he plants Johnson on the ice, but it's centered off the skate that time of Segroy. Now they're playing a little pinball in front of Nick Boucher. And breaking out, here comes Colin Chalk. Chalk will just chip the puck into the Evansville zone as the Komets go for a line change. Evansville has some open ice to set up shop and start the rush. 10 minutes to go in the match. 4-0 in favor of the Icemen. Isaac drops the pass back to Knop. Backhander off the boards. Johnson takes the hit. Racing in to try to make the play that time is Bryant Motley. And the K's break it out ahead to Podchenyov. With speed, Podchenyov. That should be a tripping penalty, and it will the minute the puck is touched by Schneider. And now again, looks like we're going to have some extracurriculars. As there is a big scrum right behind the Evansville goal. There at least will be a tripping penalty called on Evansville as we'll see the puck come up the ice. Here's Podchenyov as he tries to slip past his defender. Oh boy, Obermeyer actually stuck the knee out as well. And then you'll see after the play, they get themselves in a little bit of a dog pile behind the goal. So the penalty will come at 10:23. Yeah, that's a dangerous play. That's almost a slew foot.
Especially right along the boards.
Here are the penalties. For Evansville's number 9, Jake Obermeyer, 2 minutes stripping. For the Komets number 22, Daniel Hoyt, 2 minutes boarding.
Wow, he evened it up. The tripping penalty goes to Obermeyer. And then a boarding penalty goes to LaPointe. Well, in some respects, Bob, at times the Komets have been their own worst enemy tonight. Or you're going to have an opportunity for a power play, but instead it's evened up after LaPointe takes the boarding penalty. 9:37 to go. Komets have been outshot for the match, 29-24. And off the face-off, the puck glides back into the Fort Wayne end, where Jamie Milam will turn and start the rush up ice for the K's. Slides it over to DeAngelis, who dumps it into the Evansville zone. Benefield backhands behind the net. That's where Colin Chalk likes to call his office. Now he brings it back out. DeAngelis over to Milam, but again, there's been all sorts of traffic from Evansville to block the shooting lanes. Now it comes over. An attempted centering pass that time off the stick of Boileau is poked away by DeAngelis. Now Jens will pay the price from Milam, and the Komets break it out. Here comes Chalk as he crosses the red line. Chalk comes in. Wheels in his zone, comes back. Now right along the side of the net. Oh, it's a sweeping shot by Benefield, and it goes just wide. Digging it out of the corner is Chalk. Cross-ice pass, and it's a beauty. DeAngelis loads it up. Benefield tries to tip. Steered out of there by Peltier. Now racing in, looking for a rebound, Llewellyn, but Evansville clears. And at the 8.5-minute mark, the Komets just cannot get that puck past Pierre-Olivier Peltier. Now the K's break in again. Accepting the check and bouncing off, and the Komets come crashing into the zone. Dealing out some punishment of his own is Llewellyn. But breaking in is Bicek. Bicek, a great save by Nick Boucher. Now the K's look to turn it back up. End-to-end action. Here comes Leo Thomas with numbers. Thomas drops it back. Podchenyov's little backhander caroms away. Molly, who raced in to follow the play, he corrals the puck. Bicek tries to dump it out. He's dumped to the ice. Now the Komets now playing with a little more desperation. Leo Thomas takes a look. Podchenyov collects the pass. Now comes back as it's Bryant Molly spinning along behind the net. They look to center up high. And the drive that time goes off the body of Bicek as Thomas knocks him to the ice. Leo Thomas gets back with the puck, and now it's taken over by Evansville. Under 7.5 to go. Well, the Evansville Icemen have come in here and just kept it very disciplined and very simple. And now there's a whistle as the puck gets loose near the bench. Shots now favor Evansville 30-25. And you know, Bob, one of the things you talked about during an earlier break is that's kind of the mantra of Rich Crom. Just keep it simple, especially on the road.
That's true. like you just alluded to, they clog the passing lanes. They give you nothing to pass to. And when they get it, they just break out. Nothing's there. They ice it. It's very defensive, almost like Al Sims lookalike.
They'll face it off at center ice, and Kaylee Schrock is doing some talking. Wait a second now. They're going to call a penalty on Schrock, and it was Segroy who was initiating all of the stuff. This is unbelievable. Schrock stood there and was Segroy trying to initiate everything and to actually just con Schrock into a fight. Let's see what we have it on the replay here. Schrock just stood there and Segroy was mouthing off to him and challenging him.
They both hooked each other.
Wow. Well, I would say by and large, Kevin Curtis has called an awfully solid hockey game. He's kept things under control, but that one was a bit of a mystery, especially, well, now Segroy is going to go after somebody. Well, the Komets need somebody to step in on this. And this one is a result of Kevin Curtis because Segroy was just sent right out there to start a fight. He tried it with Schrock, and then Schrock gets the penalty. And now Dustin Molly gets jumped, and he's standing his ground.
Well,
Mike
Smith
Segroy.
got the game misconduct for being the aggressor. Evansville should get one here.
Well, things coming just a little bit unraveled here in the latter stages of opening night here at the Coliseum. Mike Segroy and Dustin Molly. And I actually think, well, there's a combination. I think the chorus of boos are for Segroy. He was out there. He was going to start a fight one way or another. He tried it with Schrock. And then decided, okay, I'll just jump Dustin Molly. And that's kind of a result of Curtis not getting the job done in the first place by taking Segroy off when he was trying to entice Schrock with all the chopping he was doing on Schrock. And now Al Sims, I think he's about had enough of Kevin Curtis as well.
Well, he's just asking why Segroy's still in the game, because obviously he initiated that fight.
Yeah, earlier Curtis took one of the Komets' best players in Brett Smith off the ice for being an aggressor. 7:16 to go, and it's still a power play for Evansville, leading 4-0. As Bryant Molly spins back in his own corner, trying to get the puck out of the Komets zone. Colin Chalk feeds ahead, and Auger gets the puck in his skates. And wheeling out of his zone with the puck is Dustin Johnson. Tries to get through his defender Llewellyn, who gives him a little bit of lumber on the leg. Now it's just chipped into center ice, and it'll be Evansville to regroup. But right now the clock is working in the favor of the Icemen with 6:45 to go. And it's still an Iceman power play. That time Johnson comes up high with the stick as he's taken heavily to the boards. And that time Llewellyn deals it out. And he bodies his man off the play in the corner, but the puck comes up high. Now right in front, tipped aside. It's laying right in the crease, and what a play by Nick Boucher. And we're going to have some more scrumming around in the goal crease area. Great job that time by the Komets to prevent yet another goal. And now Dustin Johnson trying to get into it with Evansville.
I believe we're getting another penalty too.
Now you'll see again a lot of pressure by Evansville as they were just crashing the net. You see that time the defender Tristan Llewellyn dumped his man as Johnson, but then as they crashed the goal, the puck came centered and it was laying right in the crease. Llewellyn was handing out all sorts of punishment, and Llewellyn winds up with a roughing penalty. There you see the action in front.
That was from the play way out the blue line when he threw Johnson down. The referee had his arm up.
So Llewellyn gets the roughing penalty at the 13:39 mark, and it's a two-man advantage for Evansville. The shot goes into the pads of Boucher, and they clear the rebound. But the Komets cannot clear the zone. A two-man advantage for the Icemen. They just set up shop. Mockway fumbles the puck briefly. Just shoots it right on, and it's into the body of Boucher. Well, at one point early in the stanza, the Komets did have a brief shot advantage over Evansville, but now the Icemen have really turned it on, and they have outshot the Komets 35-27.
But to Evansville's credit, they have a two-man advantage. They got their second power play unit out there. Robinson isn't running up the score.
Now behind the net, the puck is chased by Milan, chopped back behind the goal by Jake Obermeyer, and cycling out is Evansville. Top of the circle, a one-timer. It's fanned on a bit by Obermeyer. Puck's loose in front. Komets try to sweep it out, but they just can't get the job done. Obermeyer collects, comes across to Mockway. Now Mockway snaps it to the side of the net. Great save by Boucher, as that time Bicek is denied. They look to center it in front. Comes back up high to Mockway. Mockway shoots it that time right off the body of Bryant Molly. And there's a great block by Leo Thomas, but the Komets still can't clear. One man is back, but there's still 45 seconds of power play time for the Evansville Icemen. Comes up high again to Obermeyer. Shot in front is tipped. Sent heavily to the ice that time is Ronan, and the Komets finally clear as Auger backhands it high into the Evansville zone. 30 seconds left on the Evansville power play. 4 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the hockey game. Time rushing up to put a body into Schneider is Mealy, and now Auger finds a seam and just shoots it up the middle where it's gathered by Todd Robinson. Now racing in is O'Connor. He has a goal, tries to split the defense. He's steered into the corner, and now Robinson, as the power play expires, dumps it back for Bolio. He's pinned to the boards by Auger. O'Connor in there scrumming with Chalk. Here come the Komets breaking out. Just over 4 minutes to go. Teams now at even strength. Mealy plays off the boards. Peltier, well, just lets his defenseman Nick Schneider play it. Komets come up. Comes back to the point to Llewellyn. Llewellyn has his shot blocked. Racing off the bench is Podchenyalov, and he takes a shot from Adam Knopp. 4-0 in favor of the Evansville Icemen. Opening night here in Fort Wayne and the start of the Central Hockey League season for both teams. Same two teams back here at the Coliseum a week from tonight. Our next broadcast here in Xfinity 81 will be December 31st, New Year's Eve, when the Komets host the Bloomington Blaze at 7:30. Well, to add insult to injury, the Komets are now being penalized 2 minutes at the 16:13 mark for too many men on the ice. And yet another Evansville power play. So the Icemen set up shop again in the Komet zone, and the puck slips out into neutral ice. Jens will spin around. Bob, I think you made a great point. It does look like at this point like Evansville isn't exactly trying to run it up or pour it on the Komets.
No, on the power play, their big guns are wrestling.
Rizk is pinned to the boards on a good hit check by Jens, and then Rizk is dropped down again. And again, somebody from Evansville looking to start a fight. So there is going to be a main event at center ice here in the final minutes, and it's Dustin Johnson and John Michael Rizk squaring off right at center ice. A couple of big guys. Rizk 6'1", 195 pounds. Johnson 6'2", 210. But again, it was Johnson more or less just trying to jump Rizk as he knocked him down from behind and then dropped the gloves. Now that'll come at the 16:41 mark. And here you see as the Komets try to dump it into the zone. Rizk, that's a good hip check right there, and then they both go down heavily. And then right behind the play, there you see him just cross-check him behind the neck. And then Johnson says, okay, let's go. So if there is not additional penalty time, now it's important now for the referee Kevin Curtis to maintain control of this game with just over 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it could get out of hand. It looks like Rizk gets 2 minutes. Johnson gets 5 for the Icemen.
Which, to be honest with you, is a curious penalty since both players had their gloves off and were trading blows.
Well, Johnson should have had 2 and 5 because he initiated it with the big cross check.
Well, now we see what the extra 5 was for. Johnson gets a 5-minute cross-checking major. So the referee did detect that when he went right up the back of Rizk's neck. So he gets 5 for the cross-check, 5 for fighting, and a game misconduct. And then Rizk gets 2 minutes for roughing, and he gets 5 minutes for fighting. So actually, Kevin Curtis saw that play perfectly. 3 minutes, 19 seconds to go. And as it turns out, it's still a 4-on-3 power play for Evansville. And the Icemen on top, 4-0. Jens tries to slide off the hip that time of DeAngelis, gets the puck back out to Bicek. Wide open up top is Philippe Plante. Plante will ring it around to Ronan, who has a goal. Now Jens with a one-timer. Off a skate that time, and it winds up off the netting. Well, it would be kind of an ironical coincidence, Bob, if this game winds up this way, because it was a year ago, opening night, where the Komets played their home opener and their first game in the Central Hockey League, billed as a battle between the former IHL champions and the defending Central Hockey League champions, which at the time, the Rapid City Rush, and the Rush came in here and defeated the Komets 4-0.
Yes, they did.
Now Obermeyer comes up high again as Evansville just taking all the time it needs. Now up to the quarterback of the power play, Robinson. Quickly over to Obermeyer. Obermeyer's shot off the chest that time of Boucher. Komets try to pursue the puck. Comes back out to the point. Now Robinson to Macway. They look for the man in the high slot. Macway tries to feed it over, but it's blocked by one of the Komet sticks, but collected by Robinson. Now to Obermeyer. Obermeyer comes up top. Todd Robinson, the minor league veteran, shoots, and it's blocked. Gets the puck right back, though. See if he tries it again. Robinson trying to direct a little traffic. Now he steers it over to Obermeyer. Obermeyer will just circle around as he's smashed to the boards that time by Milam. But Robinson has it at the point to big Macway. Macway scores. And that'll be yet another power play goal. And it comes at the 18:03 mark. And unless that was directed by somebody, that will go to Steve Macway.
Once again, Robinson, it's his 4th point of the night. All in assists.
Well, and that just shows when veterans are on the ice, and there you see Macway through a screen. Boucher had no chance. So it is Macway from Robinson, as Bob pointed out, his 4th point of the night. And now it's 5-0 in favor of Evansville with under 2 minutes to play. So right now the Komets need to try to find a little bit of solace and see if they can at least get on the board. Again, that shot goes off the shin guards of Jens. Pachenyalov fires it through the middle. Jens will collect, and he will turn it back to his teammate, Philippe Plante. Plante's had a big night. And right now, Evansville is just content to milk the clock. Bicek comes through center ice, cruises down the middle. His quick shot goes off the stick of Boucher up into the netting, and that'll draw a whistle for a face-off. Well, the Komets will have power play time for the remainder of the match, Bob. What little remains.
Well, the big key is this period. O'Connor scores right off the bat, and then we score, and it's disallowed. Early in the period, 3-1 game. We just scored. We have momentum. Totally different game. He calls that off, and you shouldn't whine about it, but it's in the back of your mind.
Yep.
And the rest of the power play wasn't very effective.
Now the Komets break out. Here comes Benefield off the off wing. Tries to steer it out in front, but he's written off the play by Jake Obermeyer. A minute to go in the hockey game. It has not been the opening night the Komets were looking for to the 2011-2012 season. Chalk in the corner, tries to dump it back, but one of the Icemen is there. And it is ripped the length of the rink that time by Makwe, who just scored the sealing goal. Down to 40 seconds to play, and it has been a tough night for the Komets. Not giving up his Benefield, but again, ridden off the play with authority by Schneider. Benefield returns the favor a little bit. Now 30 seconds to go, and Evansville just clears. Well, Al Sims will have a week to sort some things out with his hockey club before these same two teams meet here next Saturday night, Bob. What are they going to have to look to do?
Hopefully they can get some of these players back that were scratched. They just have to work as a unit. They were a little disjointed at times. I don't know if that's because of the players that were scratched, that they've been working together all week or not.
And the final horn sounds, and it has been another disappointing opening night for the Komets as the Evansville Icemen come into Memorial Coliseum here in Fort Wayne, and they defeat their state rival, the Komets, convincingly. The final score, Evansville 5 and the Komets nothing. We'll take a break and be back to wrap things up. You're watching Komet Hockey on Xfinity.
Taking the Komets' historic 60th anniversary to a whole new level.
This is the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the home of the Fort Wayne Komets.
Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. It's your chance to sound off with the Komets. Each week, Indiana's news centers, Tommy Scheckler and a guest Komet take you inside the program, answer your calls, and talk to fans in the audience live from Wrigley Field Bar and Grill. Sound off with the Komets all season long. Mondays at 7:30 on 21 Alive. Presented by PHP, the insurance your health deserves.
It's fun to pick a show you like and watch it every single night until your family has to stage an intervention. It's fun to look and see what's new when you're hanging with your crew because it's fun to see what catches your attention.
With over 60,000 choices on TV and online, no one delivers on demand like Xfinity.
It's fun for you, it's fun for me, it's everything you want to see. It's endless fun to do Xfinity.
Well, back at Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Bob Ganow, Ken Porman here on Xfinity, and well, it was just about 3 hours ago. Started things out opening night talking about the great history of this evening, the start and the celebration of the 60th anniversary of professional hockey in Fort Wayne. Bit of a history-making moment here on Xfinity, the first of 5 broadcasts of Komet Hockey here on Xfinity 81. Electrifying atmosphere, capacity crowd of 10,071. A little bit of added intrigue with the Evansville Icemen, the state rival of Fort Wayne, coming in here. And Bob, it was just about after they dropped the opening puck and things just started going a little bit downhill for the Komets. And, you know, it was Nick Boucher's great goaltending early on that kept the Komets close, but Evansville just seemed to really shift into another gear in the third period. Ultimately, the Icemen prevailed by the final score of 5-0.
They almost looked like they were in mid-season form. Granted, there's 7 players from the old Muskegon team together. They've been together 5-6 years. They knew each other in the power plays. It was tic-tac-toe scoring. Actually, they won most of the face-offs, which is unheard of in our building, to lose so many face-offs. They won the little battles. They looked like a half a step faster. It's early. I mean, you don't win a championship on opening night, right, but you want to do a little better than 5-0. They have a week to prepare, work hard, work on a few things, Evansville clogged the passing lanes. We did not. And they'll be fine, I think. It looked like we were apprehensive. Leo Thomas hits the post early on. Otherwise, it's a 1-1 game. Third period, Sean O'Connor scores right off the bat. He played here for 3 years. He knew Nick Boucher's weaknesses. I think he gave him a little head fake and had a whole corner to score on. And right after that, we scored. But the referee lost sight of the puck, blew the whistle. By the rules, that's the right call. That's the human element. And then third period just deteriorated with, I wouldn't say stupid penalties, but some untimely ones and some curious calls. I'm not saying the referee did a bad job, but it's just the human element of one man calling the game. Other than that, Nick Boucher played really well. He kept us in it, like you said. Their goaltender, Pelletier, played outstanding. He had a couple, I wouldn't say lucky saves, but he didn't know where the puck was, but he played his angles well. He's a big guy. It hit him. Right before the one fight, he made a great rebound glove save and kind of held it up and aggravated the Komets, and that's when I think Mr. Smith got the gate for being the aggressor, even though in the next fight, their man was not thrown out for being the aggressor, so yeah, it's give and take.
Well, things kind of, it was a roller coaster ride for the Komets tonight, and they just could not really establish any momentum and sustain it. So give credit to Evansville, a veteran hockey club, well coached, well disciplined. They come into Fort Wayne and they open the season with a road victory as they take the Komets down by the final score of 5-0. Again, our next broadcast will be December 31st. That's when the Komets will host the Bloomington Blaze on New Year's Eve. We'll have all of that here on Xfinity. We'll take a final break, and then we'll return to regularly scheduled